I am the nation. I was born on July 4th, 1776, and the Declaration of Independence is my birth certificate. The bloodlines of the world run in my veins because I offered freedom to the oppressed. I am many things and many people. I am the nation. I am 200 million living souls and the ghost of millions who have lived and died for me. I'm Nathan Hale and Paul Revere. I stood at Lexington and fired the shot heard round the world. I'm Washington, Jefferson, Patrick Henry. I'm John Paul Jones, the Green Mountain Boys, Davy Crockett. I'm Lee Grant, Abe Lincoln. I remember the Alamo, the Maine, Pearl Harbor. When freedom called, I answered and stayed until it was over there. I left my heroic dead in Flanders fields and on the rock of Corregidor, on the bleak slopes of Korea, and in the steaming jungles of Vietnam. I am the Brooklyn Bridge, the wheat lands of Kansas, and the granite hills of Vermont. I am the coal fields of the Virginias and Pennsylvania, the fertile lands of the West, the Golden Gate and Grand Canyon. I am Independence Hall, the Monitor. I am the Merrimack. I'm big. I sprawl from the Atlantic to the Pacific. My arms reach out to embrace Hawaii and Alaska. 3 million square miles. I'm more than 3 million farms. I'm forest, field, mountain, and desert. I'm quiet villages, and I'm cities that never sleep. You can look at me and see Ben Franklin walking down the streets of Philadelphia with his bread loaf under his arm. You can see Betsy Ross with her needle. You can see the lights of Christmas and hear the strains of Auld Lang Syne as the calendar turns again.
Ooh, man.
What was that, man? Okay, what are we adding in here, man? No, we're not adding all of that in here. No, we're not. I'm sorry, guys. But we are going to add one more song. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started tonight, I'm going to play one more little tune. I was looking for something short, 2 or 3 minutes, nothing long. So we're going to pop this on right quick. And what's that, Bruce? No, we're going to get live in just a few minutes, yes. Well, consider you're listening to United Public Radio. Yes, you are. Out of New Orleans, out of the Gulf Coast, out of Rome, out of Italy, out of Paris, you name it, we're there.
I'm talking to you through the Gulf Coast from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Right.
John's on the other coast.
Yeah.
Just go looking for us, people.
Did you know, Jay, that Pittsburgh is the biggest city in the Appalachians?
Really? Wow. I did not know that.
By the way, I got one book to give away if y'all can tell me the name, the artist, and title of this show. Of this video.
I can say what I want, even if I'm not serious. I can say what I want to, even if I'm not serious.
Even though I've never heard this song before, I could tell based on the voice alone.
Well, it's a fairly famous group, people. Now, this is not probably one of the more popular songs because most of the popular songs, unfortunately, are like 9 minutes long, so we can't put them on here. But but this is a little short one. I actually hadn't heard this one myself, so I said we're gonna sound it. It's not that hard of a group to figure out, Bruce, man. They're fairly famous. Well, all rock groups are fairly famous. That's what I mean. What you want me to put it where you can see the no, that's cute, man. If you look hard enough, you can see the title, the song, and the thing right there.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is first person, iCarCox.net. First, we're gonna do 51. If you do 51, I'm gonna give you Right as the Future. Book 36. What the hell book you're in, Sean?
What? 33.
33. Let me see. Do I have a 33? Oh, I do have a 33. So instead of 36, I will give y'all a 33 in honor of Sean because tonight.
Just don't read my story before you go to sleep. That's all. That's all I'm asking.
Boo.
So I can tell you now because it's 51. It's Tool, and the song is Hush. Yes, I bet y'all didn't know that, did y'all? No. I did. I had first time I'd ever seen it. I've heard several Tool songs in my time, but I remember they were always kind of like Stairway to Heaven. They were always kind of long songs because what do you mean? No, really good songs can be long. Okay, there are exceptions. Damn, I can't even speak tonight. Exceptions of the rule. Most people want a 3 to 5 minute song, but there are songs that can reach into the 7, 8, 9, 10 minute category if they're good.
I know songs longer than that are good. They have an album by Tangerine Dream called Encore. It's a live performance that was only 70 minutes long. It's exactly 4 songs long, 2 vinyl discs in a double album, 1 song on each side of the record. It was like a $20 vinyl back in the 80s.
So I'm going to give away another book if you can tell me where this came from. Why Don't We Do It in the Road? It's a very famous group, got lots of albums. Yes. And it's on a particular album that everyone who's over the age of 40 or actually 35 should know. Why Don't We Do It in the Road? Yes. Huh? Well, you know what? The same people who sang Rocky Raccoon sang that song.
Wasn't that the Beatles?
You were supposed to tell him, Jay. Damn. Jada gave it away. Y'all should have luck now. Jada gave it away.
Oh crap! Yeah. I thought that was a clue. That wasn't them. I thought that was another group.
It was the Beatles.
It was Godzilla, the group. It was Godzilla, the group.
Yes, it was the Bloody Beatles, and
this is what happens when you miss office meetings.
What do you mean? Who's the Beatles were never my favorite group. Okay, look, I can do. Look, I've had it because I got a big family with lots of kids in it and all different ages, so I can listen to anything. But in my heart of hearts, I kind of like just rock. Any just kind of rock. I don't even care what it is, to be blatantly honest. I like guitars. I like bass. I like people screaming out their bloody ears. I don't know. No, Frankie, to be honest with you, no. So I went private schools growing up, a lot of operas, a lot of ballets. And don't get me wrong, there are a lot of the classics I really like. And I even like some of the classics that have been turned into rock or pop. But Beethoven's Fifth Symphony is cool. But you're talking about the song Beethoven's Fifth, and it wasn't quite as cool. I'm just saying, man, come on.
Beethoven's Fifth is kind of hard to play on piano, and I've played a few bars of it. It's not an easy song.
Well, how about Whiskey in the Jar by Metallica? That's
always a good one, man. That's
an old Irish song.
Yes. I hear they put Sean's in prison for that song. And it doesn't matter which way you spell your name either. They still put your ass in jail.
You don't have to be Sean either. If you have an MC in front of your name, you're in jeopardy.
That's true too, man. That's true. Mac anything. Welcome everybody. Jay, nice to see you. How was were you on with Jay tonight? I mean with Jeff tonight?
No, my weeks are I think 2 weeks from now. It was Wham and Jeffrey tonight.
Oh, Wham. Mm-hmm. Yes, Wham.
Yeah, the doctor and Jeff were in the house.
Yes, Wham is a very interesting individual. Her and I have had many political discussions over the years. I try not to go to their show because I love Jeffrey to death, and I like Wham, but they're very, 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 very liberal. And
Wham and Jeff are pretty similar in their political beliefs. Yeah, mm-hmm. Yes, you and I are more close.
But she's a PhD. What is she's a writer? What is she?
I think PhD in education or English. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, somewhere
like English or composition at a.
Yeah, I know. And yeah. Well, no, she's really nice. She's a lot of fun to talk to. She's insane.
Oh, yeah. Like, very smart lady.
Just like most of the people on the network are kind of insane.
When she enters a room, about half the IQs in the room drop about 50%. She is one smart lady.
So on the Arthur's Quillamore, I got a guest coming on. We got one Navy guy. We might bring him on here in a couple of weeks. And we got a guy who's these are all winners this year, by the way, for Writers of the Future. And one of them was tied into some really heavy black ops. So I was thinking we might bring him on. And I know Sean's been doing this Sean over here on the left, so this could be left and right Sean tonight for me.
Well, for this perspective, that's under and left. I mean.
And What's that, Frank? No. So anyway, Jay's on Church of Mavis with Jeffrey Pritchett, and Jeffrey's always a blast. He's really insane. He's a lot of fun. He's been on that spot for now about 10 years. So
Yeah.
he's safe and comfortable there. Sean right here, Sean Kelly, he's from Pittsburgh Paranormal. He does Into the Night on Tuesday and Sunday, which are both doing good. And then we have the new Sean Patrick Hazlitt, which I still can't pronounce his show yet, so we're gonna have to let him tell everybody the name of it.
Through a Glass Darkly
Oh.
Radio with Sean
I just
Patrick.
can't do it. I got sooner or later it'll sink into my head.
Michelle would like to know. The
uh,
boss wants to know why Joe is not on camera.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Oh boy.
It's
How did you get your picture to vibrate? That's what I want to know. Or you were on
There's a really easy way to do that. You have really, really old equipment, and it does it all the time. That's a really easy way.
Unfortunately, I wish this was old, but that's not the thing. This was the vibrate. Well, I can't do it now, but because I'm not close enough to.
Or you can always go bam, bam, bam.
Brittany, getting back to where we were. So no, everybody here does a show on the network, and we're still looking for a female host that can fit in with these guys here. What do you mean? No, it could be more than one, but we're just really looking for one right now. Well, everybody has to get used to everybody. When we bring in new hosts and stuff, and we're not always here. Sometimes, we might be busy or somebody might be somewhere. That's why we have as many hosts for the show as we do. And it's a good panel because we're talking a lot of, especially right now, it's a political year. We've got, don't forget, come election night, we are here from like 4 till 2 a.m. Every host we can get is here. I mean, everybody's calling election. We have sources coming in from so many places that it gives me a freaking headache. But we're there.
And
so
both 16th year, if we predict the presidency, correct?
So we've been right on the money. Even though a lot of the hosts last year didn't want to admit because Trump was way ahead when we were all going to bed. But like I said,
it's assuring he's in, and then we wake up and it's Biden. I was shocked.
So when we were talking that like late, I was like, well, I just had this sinking feeling that it wasn't because in every category, everywhere he was winning everywhere, and then all of a sudden he wasn't. Well, people, regardless of that or not, I still put that on Trump. Trump had run around for 2 years saying, "Oh, they're going to cheat." Well, you should have been ready for it. So this year, I think they're keeping him busy, so he can't be ready for it because every time I turn around, somebody's suing him, somebody's trying to put him in jail, so on and so forth. And Mama said, but. That's a good segue into Georgia. Now, Georgia is one of my favorite states. My sister.
Are we talking the Soviet or the?
No. Well, that Georgia's not bad over there either. But
yeah.
my sister's a native Atlantean now. No cow. She's been there long enough to be a native now. She's not a New Orleanian anymore. She don't even know what damn crawfish is. No, I'm just kidding.
She's very hard to get crawdads up there in them areas.
But she eats more crawfish than I do. So this thing going on with this prosecutor. What's her name? Fannie
Willis.
Fannie Willis.
Yeah.
Fannie Willis, the pain in the ass. So the other day I'm listening to CNN. I'm like, well, this girl's going to walk. This is going to be a problem. They're going to go after Trump even harder now. And then yesterday or day before yesterday, I hear she keeps large amounts of cash in her house. I said, ooh, that's a red line. But then her daddy, who's a very famous judge, comes. I said, no, I told her to do that. And in all fairness, a lot of people in the South keep cash in their house because of hurricanes. Not the kind of cash she was keeping her house, mind you. Now, we may have 3-5
getaway cash, for a hotel.
And ladies and gentlemen, right now I have no cash in my house. I don't think you can come rob me. But a lot of times before hurricane season, we might have, we have 3-5 enough money that. If you get out and all the banks are closed, because during Katrina you couldn't even access your money, you had to drive to another state to access it. And
hey, if they weren't wiped out from people taking money out of them, or the power isn't out, you got to get out now.
So a lot of people do keep cash on hand, but not that kind of cash. So I was like, okay, well, but her daddy's saying that's why. I'm like, ooh, well, maybe that might fly in Georgia. Maybe it might fly. I don't know. And then of course, they're saying that their relationship was not before the case. It started doing the case, right? That's what they said. Under oath, they said that. So Trump subpoenaed their cell phone records, which we'll get into in a few minutes. But now we find out, before we even get into that, now we found out that her lover, before he was her lover, apparently donated tons and tons and tons of money to her campaign. And then I guess in reciprocation, She gave him some booty. I
Yeah.
mean, this is getting more sticky as we go along. And then all of a sudden, it seems like maybe they were talking before the trial, which means they both
Talking
should
about
recuse
bang the
themselves.
gavel. Wow.
So I'm not. I mean, she pretty much put her foot where the sun don't shine at this point. I'm not sure. There's some serious ethics violations here. Will this stop this case? I don't know. 60-40 that it will, but you know, any way she goes from this point forward, everything she says is questionable. Even any judge is going to be going, this is questionable. We can't trust what you're saying. Also, that means you can't trust the other guy is what he's saying. So these are the top leads on this case. So if it gets put on hold, that's it. It will not make it for election time. It'll be out there. It won't be there for election time. And I heard a couple of Supreme Court judges say at some point there has to be a fairness to Trump. You can't keep loading on cases 6 months before the election date.
Yeah.
That's just really, you know, especially since it's all just Democrats doing it, no independents or libertarians or Republicans are doing it. So,
Well, and the Supreme Court's already also stated that any other states that try to get him off their ballots, and they must be done constitutionally because they've already reversed 2 states and then another state.
Oh, well, you heard what's his name, Gabbage or whatever his name told. What's the last male on there? What's his name? Anyway, he said the other day, he goes, well, look, governor of Colorado and governor of California, I'm gonna tell y'all just one time. The order's been passed. You can't go around enforcing your gun laws like you were trying now. It is illegal, and in lieu of the court's order, you have 30 days to correct it, or we will actually put the what do they call them? Not the sheriffs, the Mounties, not the Mounties. Who the hell are they? The Rangers. No, the Rangers will come and show up and arrest you and bring you to a federal prison. He told that, and then he told the Colorado guy, if I find out that this is not on the ballot within X amount of days, which I think was 4 or 5, he said, we will have you arrested and brought to a federal penitentiary pending a trial. He said, you will, at this point, you will be in, what is it when you don't listen to the court?
Contempt.
In contempt of court. And at that point, you can be arrested and put in jail. So actually what's happened here is all the justices feel the same way. Even the liberals feel the same way. Look, you can't slide the court. You just can't. If you start doing it, then one day when the Democrats have the court again, well, no, one day the Democrats will have the courts again. The Republicans will say, screw you. You didn't do it, so why should we do it? And Texas and Florida is already irritable as it is. So, I mean, it's to a point now where it's just becoming funny. And then I hear the judge, one of the federal judges in New York go, well, I still want to see this guy's appraisals license. This is a Democrat. No, this guy, I'm serious. This guy's a Democrat.
Did you see the governor of New York had to reassure businesses not to leave? Look, if I were running an investment bank or I were running like an investment services company, I would get the hell out and just go to Florida. A lot of them already have.
Well, have, and a lot more are going. In New York and California, you got a big problem now. They're bleeding out people due to shitty policies. And then what is this? So the hookers have taken over LA. What the hell is this?
What?
So I've been all over LA. I ain't seen nothing. So a friend of mine who lives in LA, he lives and works in LA. He's a very comfortable guy. So he's driving around town making videos now in the good neighborhoods and the rich neighborhoods and the poor neighborhoods and the shitty neighborhoods and the fantastic everywhere. I mean, I was like, dude, I said, down here, they just pick him up and put him in jail. You're like, what are you doing? No, you're going to jail. No, you're going to, get in the car. You're going to jail. Prostitution's illegal. And at last I checked, it was still illegal in LA. What the hell? That ain't Vegas.
They let people go into Walgreens and take whatever they want. So
yeah, I mean, you can tell they don't care. And they showed
they can't arrest them on the way that they're dressed. I mean, if you've seen some of these girls on the streets dressed, I mean, there's nothing left to the imagination. But as long as nothing, X-rated is showing, the cops can't do anything until they, approach breaking the law.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I'm watching California just slide off. We don't even need an earthquake for y'all to slide off into the ocean, man. Y'all doing
Lex Luthor's plan should have been allowed to happen in Superman 1.
Well, it's just,
no offense, Sean. I know you're over there in California, but
California got to get a grip. Well, it's not northern. It's from the middle of California up. That's fine. It's just the bottom half of California is the effed up part.
Well, yeah,
And,
he only wanted to cut off like the half that's by the ocean. The rest would have become cliffront properties.
Well, they already put an amendment up to try to break California in half.
Oh, really? Who did that? You're kidding.
Somebody in Northern California did. They wanted to break it in half. They're like, well, from what was it, Sacramento up or somewhere? They
would call it like Jefferson and like Southern Oregon too. The same thing.
But you wouldn't be able to break it off in that way. Actually, the fault line, the San Andreas fault line, goes from Washington State all the way down through Baja California.
No, they just wanted to make a line on that.
Almost all of Baja California is going off with it.
Okay, how about them people in Oregon that want to merge with Idaho? Did they pass that? Where they wanted to make it one big state?
And why would you want to be part of Idaho?
And they're not even next door to each other.
You know what? There must be some really good weed in Washington State. That's all I can say, man. I mean, come on. Why would it? I got friends who got out of Idaho as fast as they can. I mean, Lord. Maybe
seriously.
Idaho's not that bad. It's actually it's like a hidden gem, right? There's lots of
highest cancer rates in the country.
Couple years ago, because there was a lot of people in Oregon did not like the way the Democrats were running or the liberals were running Oregon, and they had sick and tired of it. So they called Idaho and they said, "Do you mind if we join you guys?" They wanted to make,
but like 2/3 of Washington's freaking belongs to the Indians anyway. I mean, how much does a white man actually own there?
How many?
I'm not talking Washington. 50, I'm talking Oregon, buddy. That's not.
Oh yeah, Oregon. Yeah, I got friends in Oregon.
So. That's the one I'm talking. Oregon.
I got a good friend that lives in Oregon. She's a black girl, and she always tells me, she said, "I feel like a candle, Joe. I'm walking down the street. I'm looking. Is any black people around here? Any black people around here?" I said, "I had to marry a white man because there ain't any black man in the freaking whole town." She said, "You think I'm kidding you? I'm not kidding you." Yeah. I'm like. She said, "Hey." She said it's like 0.1% of the population up there. I was like, "What?" I said, "Well, you could always move back to Philadelphia or New York." "Oh, no, I don't want to go back there. Screw that. I'd rather stay where I'm at." She said, "I'm staying here." But, that was a hard-working little young girl there. Their family came from Africa and lived in the UK and then moved to Arizona, and then they all went their own ways. And she moved to New York, got her nursing license, and then got her nurse practitioner's license, and then got her doctor's, and then she got her PhD. I mean, she's just going to town, man. It shows you the difference, though, from someone who came from outside of our country, how well they took advantage to what we had to offer versus someone from inside of our country that's like, "I can't do that." Well, really? She could. Why can't you?
Part of the thing is people that come in clandestinely or illegally, they can't really legally make any claims to that stuff. If they do and they do it wrong, they get caught, they get boosted back out, which doesn't make any sense anyway or difference anyway. They come right back. But that's the only difference.
Now they get ballots.
Yeah.
Now they get ballots.
They get ballots, or they get a free trip. There was a video I saw that the California Highway Patrol was moving some Hispanic-looking men, and some guy was mad that he thought they were illegal immigrants. A, how did he know? And B, he was filming the police move these people into a hotel from a bus, and he talked to the police in such a way that they finally arrested him and put him in jail because he was being a pain in the ass. So just the whole immigrant situation is getting to the point where some states were being threatened with who was it that's being threatened with not is it President Biden being threatened with not defending the Constitution by letting the borders run free like that?
Oh yeah, they had something they were talking about yesterday.
Well, it's not hard. It's not like it's a mystifying problem to stop. That's what's so frustrating about it.
Yeah.
Right. You put me in charge, it'll be over by the next day. I'll just mine the entire border. People start blowing up.
Just be killing people, man.
Well, you're not. They're killing themselves. You just put a big fat sign. This is mined. If you step over it, danger, and a few people lose some legs, and they'll stop coming.
You could do that, and it is a good idea. But instead of a anti-personnel mine, just fill them with an indelible paint. You don't have to step on the mine. You just have to walk within proximity of it, and it goes and sprays everybody in like a 10-foot, 20-foot circle.
Yeah, but I've talked to some guys on the border. Like what they're doing is they're coming over in like packs of 250, and there's like 3 border guys,
Three
monitoring
dudes with a truck that holds 5.
Yeah, like
so
for
they
like
get to arrest
they have
2
like
people.
right, they have like a 50, and what they'll do is they'll like send the the fentanyl out, put like a baby on top, and then like throw the baby in the water, and then they'll have to go pick up the baby, and the mule with the fentanyl just gets through. Like it's just. It's
they know our system. They know how to get around it. So, and they've been doing it for what, 60 years?
I see a couple of more states from up north have sent people to the border. So it's Texas is basically just, if it wouldn't be for New Mexico, Texas could probably get all the way across to California and get a nice border protection. But New Mexico is so blue, they ain't getting nothing in there.
Texas would have to actually invade those states and get over to California to control that border.
Well, no, Arizona would easily go with them. Arizona's a
but they would still have to fight their way in those 2 states, New Mexico and
New Mexico,
California.
Did you know Pennsylvania's joining Texas? Did you see that?
Oh yeah. They're all over, man.
Pennsylvania. That was like a shocker to hear.
No, there's Wisconsin, there's states. There's quite a few northern states have joined in. And,
well, your senator has gone like 180, right? What's his name?
The thug.
yeah. He's like turned 180. He's like pro-Israel. He's
well, I tell you what.
He's like, what happened?
Religion. I think he woke up, and I'm going to be honest with you.
Or he unwoke, Sean.
No,
he unwoke. Yeah,
Fetterman took a down and out, below poverty area in Pittsburgh, and he changed it around. And when he got into the senator, right, when he came to senator, okay, all the Democrats are feeding him a bunch of bullshit. But you know what? What Fetterman did was he went back to his roots, what he was witnessing and where he was living, what was happening in the world. It clicked. It clicked, and he's coming back to being the John Fetterman that I know, that I respected. So, yes.
Yeah, he found religion, I'll tell you that.
Found religion, or he got a wake-up call or something. He's probably still wearing them ghetto hoodies, like looking like a thug.
So what? That's how he did it.
If he's doing the right job, I really don't care how he looks. I would really prefer when he represents us in DC.
If you're a United States senator, if you're a United States senator, it's like, come on.
But every time you see him on the news in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, he's hoodie. You can see the neck tats going. He's
in a hoodie.
Yeah, and hoodie.
In shorts.
You're an elected official. At least look official. When you're at home, wear the hoodie.
Why, Jay? Why do you need to look official? What's it do?
It makes him look irresponsible when he.
It's a respect. It's a respect.
It's a respect.
Right? You're a United States senator, the most powerful country in the history of humanity.
My money's paying his job. He needs to be wearing a suit. When he's on his back deck drinking a beer on Saturday morning, I don't care what he wears. He could be in his boxers and flip flops and shower shoes.
I'm confused anyway, because I know when you're in the House and Senate, you have to wear a suit.
You have to wear a coat and tie.
Yeah, you have to. It's
but
part
when
of
he
the
was in the
code.
Senate, when he was when he was with the senator, Schumer came with a rule saying that he could wear whatever he wanted.
Yeah, well, Schumer can do whatever he wants. He don't control the Senate. He's got to have a vote for both sides to do that shit.
Well, I mean, I agree with the guy can wear whatever he wants. I just would rather he would wear more respectful clothes when he's in the limelight.
It's undignified, is the.
It's undignified.
What it comes down to is, if you want to be taken seriously by the rest of the country and your fellow peers,
thank you.
Be in a suit.
I mean,
if you're not, and it doesn't matter how good he is, people are just going to look down on him for wearing a hood.
Yeah, you have that little graphic underneath that says Senator so and so from such and such state.
It's like Zelensky. He's got like that thug wear that he wears everywhere, and it's just like you're raising money for your country. Like, have some respect. Have some respect. Come on.
I actually wear hoodies myself, but I just when I'm at work in my daytime, you'll see me in one, especially with my bald ass head and it's cold outside. It's
But you're not a senator. You're not a United States senator, Joe.
You wouldn't see me wear a hoodie.
No, he owns his own business. He owns his own business.
That's right. And you wouldn't see me in a hoodie on here. Now, if you see me with a customer, I'm not going to be wearing my hoodie. I'm not going to even be wearing an army, but because I deal with multi-million-dollar customers. And when I'm out in LA dealing with hobnobbing with all those rich and famous, you'll see me in a suit.
And 4 pairs of glasses.
I'm not the winner, you know. Actually, most of the time, what's her name steals my glasses, so I don't have them.
Emily Goodman stealing your glasses?
No. What's her little shithead, Sarah?
Oh, okay.
And but anyway, you know, a lot of the people we deal with out there are all millionaires. A lot of the people we're going to deal with in other places are millionaires. A lot of the authors are millionaires. Even some of the illustrators are millionaires. So it's a little different, you know, and I don't expect him just like Tom. When Tom's out there, he's in jeans and a t-shirt, unless it's something formal, and then he's dressed different. It's just what you're comfortable in. I'm comfortable dressed like this. It doesn't, you know, when I'm traveling. Now you won't see me like dressed like this when I'm traveling. I won't be in a t-shirt because t-shirt in the old days when t-shirts were comfortable, you'd see me. When now they don't feel as soft as they used to. So you'll see me in an older, like 100% cotton shirt or something nice and soft while I'm traveling, but a pair of jeans and a pair of shit kickers, and that's how I'll be dressed. So
shit kickers, by the way, for you people in the north, is translated as cowboy boots.
Yes, and that's because and when you're wearing real shit kickers, sometimes you got to kick a cow patty, man. So
yeah, and then usually it's and it's a cowboy way. It's preferred where you want the pointy boots so the shit spreads away, or you want the blunt.
Well, y'all seen further
away from you.
Y'all seen my new ones, my anacondas. They're pretty. They
You wearing them?
No, I got to break them in. Actually, these are going back. I got to get a bigger pair. These are a half inch too small.
Oh,
they're beautiful
nice.
boots, though.
Those are pretty.
I mean, those are real snake people. They ain't no fakey snakes.
You got a Stetson to go with it?
Yes,
you got a snake Stetson to match?
I might have one laying around somewhere. It's what I want is a nice duster, man. And what do you mean, Jim? So, Jimmy, you might see me one day in shit kickers, jeans, a duster, a hat, and boots.
But if you see him
I have a schizoid personality. What can I say? Well, yeah, she's in a bikini run. There is a video. Well, there's a picture somebody made of me who thought he's a smartass that put my head on a pregnant fat lady's body, and it's feeling like this. I haven't seen it in a long time, but it is still out there somewhere. That's funny. People, you can't, when you do what we do, you got to have a sense of humor about yourself. Yeah, people are just going to screw with you. Well, it's like the opening song for UF Undercover. I was talking with my producer.
The guy was making fun of you.
Yeah, and I was talking with my producer one night on Wake Up USA, telling him about something that happened to us in the swamp. And a friend of ours, Ian, who was just a pain in the ass in one of the support groups, decided to turn it into a song. And he turned it in, and he was scared to even let me hear. He thought I was going to be really pissed. And one of my friends sent it over. He said, "I just want to see your reaction." I was laughing my ass off. So I wrote to him and said, "Ian, can I use it for the opener for the show?" And he's like, You're effing with me, right? I said, "No, I want to use it for the opener for the show." And it's been the opener ever since 10, 12, almost 15, 20 years now. It's been the opener of the show. Yes, it's kind of serious and kind of stupid and funny all at the same time. Anytime you start talking about Vaseline and probing, it's I'm just saying, it gets a little weird, people. Oh, man. But anyway, so all we can do is hope the Georgia girl gets knocked out and the case gets put on hold. The one in DC is on. It's been taken off the docket indefinitely. They don't know when it's going back on. So it doesn't look like it's going to. It's looking more and more like it won't make it before the. I think they know that too. So the problem for them is why push a trial that once you know if Trump wins, you can't do anything. You can't prosecute a sitting president. So you're just kind of stuck. And remember, he's always got the right to pardon himself. So it's kind of a moot point to even go after him at this point. So I think what you'll see is right now, so the New York one's already done and over with. So he can either decide to settle and pay or go ahead and get an appeal, which he's going to get an appeal. And if he's got to take it to the Supreme Court, it's null and void until it goes all the way through the process. And by the time it gets through the process, we'll already be into the election. So
and if he wins, then it'll be on hold until he's at least out of the office.
Yes, or he can again pardon himself. So in New York can take a flying, since it was an illegal thing to start off with, New York can just take a flying, what. But I got to be honest, and I know this is why Democrats have been scrambling so hard. Instead of trying to make peace with the man, they want to make it worse. So now, if I was him, as soon as I got in office, I would actually start assigning committees, just nothing but checking them out all the way across the board. Just nonstop, every Democrat from Shitty Schumer all the way up through the rest of the bunch. No, I'm serious. I mean, it needs to be done. And I heard him the other day talking about putting up a bill for term limitations on the Senate and the House. Praise the freaking Lord, man.
What about age? What about age limit?
No, they can't do age. You can't do age limit. You can't do age limit because
why not? I mean, there's mandatory retirement at 75.
But what age? I mean, at 81, 85, some people are very just there. They're very sharp and would make an excellent president. At some people, but you got to remember, some people at 50 are dumb as dirt. So I mean, the age limit is slippery slope because some of our best presidents have been in their mid 70s.
But when you have a House of Senators that's over 59% of them are over the age of 65.
Well, that's all fine. But if now once they get 65% of them get over the age of 75, then it's a whole different thing. So it's not so much because their faculties may slip, because as we move forward in America, our brains get sharper. We're living longer. So as we learn to live longer, in the average lifespan, which is only a few years away from becoming 100, people will be sharp at 80 and 90. So it's going to be hard to say.
That's true too, but it's not just about that.
But when I was a kid, when I was like, say 16, 50 was it, buddy. You were done. Yeah. You looked old and haggard. You was done. Yeah. I mean, you was just done. Now that's more like 85 or 90 now. So, I mean, it's a different world, and it's changing more and more and more. I mean, I was listening to them talk about the millennials and the Z Geners. They're expecting them to live to 100. Mm-hmm. And
we're getting older and older as we go along, but it's not just the age, it's not the age factor or the mental capacity factor. It's the holding on to old, out of tune ideas and morals.
And some of that, and some of that is true.
We have laws on the book that don't make sense. We have laws in the Constitution that need to be updated for today's times. It's just a fact. There's nothing wrong with our system. It's just it's so old and has so many old bad ideas in it.
It does, but think about it this way:
we get the old bad laws that aren't being enforced.
But think about it this way:
yeah, they have laws for like stupid things like you can't put an ice cream cone in your pocket. Who puts ice cream cones in their pockets? But there's a law on the book somewhere.
Say, I love it when you're going off.
There's lots of blue laws.
Yeah, there's lots of stupid laws like that. They need to get out.
There are blue laws, but most of those laws are local laws. They're not really federal laws. And
true, but they need to strengthen from the whole level, from the local.
But you always have to remember this:
you need streamlining.
If it was up to the Z Geners in the middles, we would have already disarmed our country.
Disarm the police.
We'd all be wearing dresses.
Remember, these
we'd be wearing dresses on this show.
That's right. And these are the ones that are getting into their 40s now. So they're 39, 38, 39, 40 years old for the millennials. So and they're going to be taking power over the next 2 decades. So you need the oldie goldies.
5 years old, they'll take over control of the Senate.
Yeah, and by then though, the oldie goldies who are in the House and the Senate will have influenced them and showed them behind the scenes. Look, if you don't do this, you won't have a job because you'll be dead. So Which what happens. You see a lot of this happen when people come to a certain age. It's older now than it was when I was a kid because we're living longer. So when I was a kid, it was much more serious around 35. Now it's more like 45 or 50. And because people know they're going to be around another 20 or 30 years, you know, comfortably, healthy and having comfortable lives. So it allows, because I mean, right now the majority of the Senate is older and lawyers, and neither one of those serve us correctly. They're out of touch in a lot of areas, but then when it comes to the protection of our country, they're not.
It may be.
It's a damned if you do, and it's a damned if you don't. And trying to balance that is hard.
But if you don't have an age limit there, what's eventually going to wind up happening is like our laws right now are probably, I'd say 50 years behind the times. So you got these older guys who are 65 plus that are holding on to 1950s moralities, World War II mentalities that worked then. It kept us through the war, but now they're null and void. You know, the mentality of like, you know, you can't, you know, get into a house with an unmarried man and have children. That's happening all over the world. That's the new family. That's the nuclear family. Not married. There's no commitments there between the husband and wife, and there's children all over the place. That's how we are. There needs to be updated laws. And if you keep having an average Senate that's 65 years old every time it recycles, and you're going to have 65-year-old guys who are 20 years behind that law's times. And then the next cycle, there's another. We're not even catching up. We're still always 20 years behind the law times. They need to catch up. Well,
the 60s doesn't bother me. What bothers me, sorry, something just popped up on my screen right as I said that. The 60s isn't really what bothers me. The age, it's not the age, it's the fact that it's 85% lawyers. So the problem
Yeah,
isn't with how old you are. It's the problem is what we're allowing to run our country. And
Yeah.
lawyers are not good. They don't do good jobs at running our country. They're shitty. They just can't do it. They want to fight and bicker all the time. So that's what we've fallen into. Because I used to watch the Senate even before, going all the way back to Nixon when he was a vice president. It was different. There was a lot more bipartisanship all the way up until Clinton, and even with baby Bush, there was still bipartisanship. But after that, there has not been any since.
Well, the other thing that there's, in addition to too many lawyers, there's not enough veterans too. That's the other problem.
Yeah. That's
why we're starting wars left and right, because these people didn't serve and they don't send their kids to fight the war. So it's like the most useless political.
And that you're right, because in the old days you would see more veterans actually serving in the house, and so you'd see more astronauts serving. You'd see just more people from general walks of life. But now that's not what we see. We see politics. I mean, we see lawyers. That's what we see.
Career lawyers and judges.
5%, it should be maybe 10%, but whatever it is, there should be a limit. No more than 10% of any one occupation should be allowed in the House and the Senate, because we see what happens.
Well, you know what? Wasn't the House originally back in 1776? Wasn't the House for lay people like us? Was it not created?
It still is. It's supposed to be for me and you and Sean and Jay. That's what it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be the House. That's why it's every 2 years. The Senate's supposed to be the snobby, sophisticated, went to Harvard and shit like that. And we, the people, are supposed to be the House. And sometimes it is, but for the most part, we're like the shitty lawyers in the House now is what you got.
Yeah.
You got the really high dollar Wall Street lawyers up here at the Senate and the little shitty lawyers down here at the House now.
We're the free lawyers that you get when you get arrested. You don't have
money. I mean, it's bullshit is what it is, and it has to change. Term limitations and occupation limitations will change Congress in ways you cannot even believe. And it is a little dangerous for both parties, because you never know when they might get into a rut, or somebody might just decide, hey, look, we like the way this has been working. Let's just stay with these people. But then again, 12 years for each side. It's two terms in the Senate, 12 years. And that would be 6 terms in the House, 12 years. So to combine the two would be 24. That's 24 years in the Houses. That's a pretty long time. I don't see why you need to serve any more than that. And let's say you got in at 30, you're going to get out at 54. Well, that's a good age to go be a mayor or a governor or maybe a House spokesperson for one of the states. Because you really have experience, then you can take that and bring that to your state and do something good for a change. But that's not how we do it. No, we don't want to do it that way. That's too intelligent is what the hell that is.
But if you look at it on average, most people that you don't spend 25 years in one job. Most people don't. And those who do usually retire at the end of those 25 or 30 years. They're not there for 50, 60 years straight. You only do so much, then get out.
Well, that's I know my grandpa and all of them were all they were all planning on retiring, and they all did. I mean, they all worked till they retired, and then they retired and went and did whatever they did. Retired around 55 or 60, and then they had their retirement from the company, and then their retirement from Social Security, and that was life. But that isn't life today. One, you're living longer than that. You're healthier longer than that. Retiring at 65 and sitting on your ass and doing nothing. No, nobody's doing that. People are buying condos and traveling and doing shit. I mean, nobody wants to just sit there and die. I mean, it's just not who we are as a nation.
And if we only go back, not even a full 100 years, it's the 1950s and 40s. I think the average age of people living was worldwide was 35, 45 years old. That was the average expectancy. You were going to make it before you died. 45 years old.
It's almost doubled since then. Well, there's been some dips recently for some reason, but some backwards trends. There's been some dips, but. Then we can get into that too. I'm sure there's lots of reasons why.
Yeah, well, there was a huge dip in 1945.
Yeah, but no, they're talking like over the last 3 or 4 years. There's been a dip in the length. Now there's been some new records set for as far as how old somebody is. They're getting up there now.
Yeah, well, then they find some dude who was 150 years old at some point.
I know. I thought the 123. I'd have to go look it up.
It was an odd number. It was over 120.
I don't want to live that long.
Why? As long as I'm healthy and can do what I want, I'm fine with that.
Love to see how far we're going. What's going to happen? What our next.
I just don't want to live past being useful anymore.
Yeah.
And most of my family don't. They are somewhere along the line. They just burn out somewhere. And
well, I mean, even if I live past being useful, at least if I'm healthy and can walk around, at least I can see what's going on, follow the future, see history being made.
Well, see, my 55-year-old dad married my 17-year-old mother, which I guess back in the day wasn't cute or was cute. My grandfather, after he divorced his long first wife and was almost 60, married some little 18-year-old chick. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what ended up killing his ass.
George Burns, the famous comedian and actor, when he was 83, married a 21-year-old, fathered a child with her, and then a few years later, he passed on to the afterlife. And I guarantee you that 21-year-old is, no matter what people made fun of her for marrying an 83-year-old dude, she's set for life. She probably didn't have to work. The babies probably had the best education. And this was like 20, 30 years ago in the 80s.
What's that, Jimmy Lee? Who? What are you talking about? Clinton's not running for anything. No, yeah, okay. First off, they are trying to
life soon, but not else.
They're trying to find somebody to replace Biden with, but Biden don't want to go anywhere. According to the new polls, Biden is almost winning. So how are you going to get him out of there? Because nobody else even polls close to Trump. They tried to fudge as many Newsom polls as they could, and even in freaking California, he wasn't polling good. So, I mean, there's no way he's going to poll. Right now, his best poll against Trump is 30%. That's his best poll against Trump. I mean, that's probably out of California. He just can't garner the numbers. And poor Kamala, Miss Harris, which I'm telling you, at least half the time I hear her speak, she's drunk. She's like, I'm Kamala Harris, and we have to have abortion rights. And then the crowd claps and everybody's kind of looking. And then she goes on and says, I don't know, 30 or 40 more salad words. And you're kind of like, what? Is Joe Biden speaking? You know, I think she makes Biden look smart. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm just.
Unless she's getting a little tipsy on the plane there and back.
Oh, there's definitely sometimes. So I think about half the time she does have a buzz before she goes on stage. And I think she doesn't think she has a buzz. I think that's what the problem is. She's one of those oh, I got it under control, man.
I got this. Yeah.
Oh, I got it. I don't need
I just think Biden. I just think Biden asked Google Gemini for an 18th century vice presidential candidate, and it sped out Kamala Harris.
Poor Kamala. Kamala, we love you, baby. We really love you. Yes, we.
Despite the fact that you were 3D printed, you're a great vice president.
Yes, we're a little scared of you, but we still love you. I mean, you're a little scary, though. I mean, as people go, she's a little on the scary side. What is that, Frederick? No. We'll talk about that if you want to. We can talk real quick. So, yes, the Ukrainians have been teaching other people how to use drones. What I mean by that is, so Ukrainians have been using the drones just to beat the living shit out of the Russian fleet. I mean, they've just been beating the shit out of it. So the Houthis decide that's a good way to beat the American fleet up.
No.
American fleet's a little tad bit more sophisticated, so it's a little bit harder. No, they never sink any American ship. Let me tell you what, Houthi, if you're ever stupid enough and get lucky enough to sink an American ship, just kiss all your ass. Take your Sunday prayer and put your head between your legs and kiss your happy ass goodbye, because there will be no more of you.
No, yeah, exactly.
We will hunt you down, your mama down, your sons down, your brothers down, and we will kill all of you. I'm just. It ain't gonna go well if you even damage one.
That's why they're only shooting into international lanes. They're not shooting at our boats because it would be instantly on. If they shot,
they've been shooting at us. No, they've been shooting at us. We just
that's all the news is saying on the things I've been reading.
They've been shooting at us. Just been shooting down.
Why haven't we stomped that entire country?
Because we've been shooting down.
That one ship was running out of bullets to stop the drones from coming.
They were.
I read that.
Yes, they have been. They're over there trying as hard as they can to damage a U.S. ship.
If they're attacking our military ships, why aren't we sending more troops there?
We are. We're actually steadily. There's Saudis flying every day.
Well, right, but why aren't we putting boots on the ground and stopping that country into?
Yeah, but why? Why? There's nothing there.
There's nothing there. We can't justify boots on the ground. No American has been killed yet, and they're not the ones holding the hostages in And the guys
I guess we can call it like target practice, now like skeet shooting for the Army.
Now, the really dangerous part to all of this is if one of their drones does hit us and we found that it came from Iran, we'll be more worried. Screw the Houthis. We're going to bomb Iran.
Nice
We're going to bomb their asses into the
where
stone.
the city of
It's going to make Desert Storm look like a freaking cakewalk. We're going to bomb their asses into the Stone Age. One thing America does know how to do is have air superiority and bomb your asses.
Kind of already in the Stone Age.
They will be. If they're not, they will be. And the bad part is, main reason America has been staying away from Iran is because there's a big movement in Iran to overthrow the government and the religious. They want to get rid of it. And they've been trying for about 30 years. But if America goes in there and starts blowing everybody up, then that just gives them a reason to turn on us.
Well, but they also tried in the 70s, if you remember. They did try early, maybe the late 60s. I remember I was a young boy, but all I remember is that the revolution went horribly bad. And then this is why I think when Saddam Hussein was about to take control or already was in control, and like millions of people were killed because of that revolution. So
yeah, it's
tough.
It's right now it's just a slippery slope for everybody involved. And really and truly, we don't know what the reaction of China and Russia is going to be if we go in and blow the living shit out of Iran, which is on the board. I mean, I've heard several people talk about it. It's definitely on the board. But only if we take damage, or if American lives are taken in a mass number, or if we take damage to a ship, then the U.S. said we could maybe use force to take out Iran's drone facilities and anything we consider to be a nuclear facility. That's okay. We can get away with that. We just can't go around mass bombing shit and if we start to help them and leave their power systems alone, the rebels in there will help us out. If we go in and start blowing up power plants and shit and everybody's living in the Stone Age, it's not going to work for us. They're going to go against, which doesn't really matter. Iraq went against us and we just, Iraq still deals with it.
I actually did my master's thesis on that.
Oh, shit.
Iraq?
Yeah. You can't do a precision strike because you need to take down all their air defense assets. And in order to take down all their air defense assets, you need to do like a strategic bombing campaign, like Kosovo.
Yeah.
So it would be ugly. Not only that, like of all those people that just came across the border, right? We'd have a Hezbollah summer. We'd have, terrorists and all that stuff blowing up supermarkets and all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah,
so it's not
all kinds of
it's not as easy as it looks.
No, it would take effort, and America's only got a couple of choices. I'm pretty sure most of their facilities we know where they are. So if we wanted to strictly go all stealth, we could probably take out their facilities, but by doing so
from up high.
But doing so, if they get lucky and they hit one of our jets, it's gonna be full out war. And even I don't care how stealthy our jets are, which I mean the F-22s and the F-35s are very stealthy planes, and they're very fast planes, but
they can control their stealth to the point that they can go visible.
But no, see what Sean's saying is exactly how we did Iraq. We went in, we bombed, we took out every air-to-air missile that could be found anywhere. Any AAA, anything we could find that might put our planes in jeopardy. And we didn't even use stealth planes for that. We used like F-18s and stuff like that. And we went in and took all that shit out. Then we let the A-10, the F-17s go in and start doing their job. And of course, every now and then you'd be watching CNN, you'd see a cruise missile going by. They look like they're in slow motion too, man.
Well, and here's the wrinkle with Iran, though. You couldn't do it at night. You'd have to do it during the day. And the reason you'd have to do it during the day is you need to kill their nuclear scientists, because if you don't kill their nuclear scientists, they'll just reconstitute the program when you leave.
Yeah, sure.
So there's a couple of things. I mean, if Iran either has to be an all-in-one package or leave it alone, which is what we've been doing. I mean, there may become a time when we decide to do, but you've seen the rollout for Iraq. That wasn't no Vietnam rollout. That was a fucking rollout. There was tanks and jets and planes. There was coalitions. There was all kind of shit going on. There was eye in the sky. I mean, we dominated everything. It taught one thing to Russia and China: be effing careful.
Well, and that's the thing with Iran. Iran is more competent, like a lot more competent than.
Yeah, but they don't have the capacity we do. We had ongoing like 24/7 flights over Iraq. That first battle at least the first couple of days.
Well,
it was only like 15 minutes to take out their Air Force, and then the next 3 or 4 days, all their anti-aircraft artillery guns. I mean,
well, yeah. The other thing too is they have serious missile defenses, unlike Iraq. Like they have
they
probably
may
have
more serious weapons,
S-300 Russian
well,
systems.
I don't know what
they don't
what
have
they got.
stamina
So,
though. We have so much more stamina than them.
no, because Iraq. So
going over them.
When we attacked Iraq had just got through kicking Iran's ass into submission. That's what they were saying. They were using nerve gas on the Iranians. They had just whooped the living shit out of Iran. And Iran and Iraq pretty much were using and still do use the same type of air-to-air defense systems from Russia. America's not really worried about Russian air defense, and that's not the things we're worried about. We're worried about accidentally detonating a nuke, or they might just detonate a nuke saying we use it on their soil. It's just too dangerous of a thing. We'd have to commit. I mean, it couldn't be. We just have to say, right. Okay, we have to call all of our allies and say, okay, look, this is Desert Storm 2, just Iran instead, and we got to commit to this, and then we can take it out. And it's not just going to be committing to take Iran out, because we're going to have to deal with all the terrorists in the Middle East while we're doing it. So it's not just going to be bombing this shit out of here and bombing this out of there. But the terrorists are stupid. So you'll see them. They're going to blow up shit like Turkey, because Turkey's going to be one of the countries that want to sit on the fence. Oh, no,
you'd have to set up a cordon. You'd have to set up, extra security.
It would have to
where
be.
You're going to bomb, so that when Iraq leave the ship, you catch them on the way out.
Yeah, it would have to be Iraq too. And the thing about that is they haven't done anything enough for us to warrant spending or putting that many lives at jeopardy. Because you're talking literally hundreds of billions of dollars to finance a war right now. And it's not that we can't take. We could whip Iran in our sleep. That's not even a problem. I mean, they're flying F-4 Phantoms. Jesus, we watched the F-22 just sitting underneath them saying, maybe you should go home now.
Yeah, it's time for you to go home.
Just not, and so that Iranian F-22 flew all over Iranian airspace. Not one time did anybody know it was in Iran. It was to teach Iran a lesson. And it's not even our most stealthy jet. The F-35 is that. And it's nobody ever seen it. It's just like when we pulled up next to China with the submarines and said, hey, China, look, we got 4 nuclear submarines pointing at you. They had no idea they didn't even know they were there until we called them and told them.
Ding dong! Look who's coming to dinner.
I mean and that's 3 presidents that have done that now. Reagan, Clinton, and Trump have all done that now. And then sometimes you can find all 3, sometimes you can only find 1. But I remember my favorite thing is when he told Kim Jong-un, we will hunt you out of existence, and he just disappeared. And then Xi Jinping shows up for dinner 3 days later, and Trump pops up a submarine off the coast of Syria and launches 98 crews. He emptied the whole entire submarine, everything it had on board, just while he was having dinner, just to teach, hey, look, I could be killing your whole country right now, and you'd be having dinner with me.
Mm-hmm.
It was a valuable lesson, and she knows that Trump is crazy. Putin knows that Trump is crazy. But the Middle East don't give a shit that Trump is crazy. The Houthis don't care. None of them care. They're not.
They are themselves crazy.
Yeah, they don't care. Now, you might see Putin calm down if Trump gets in office, because Putin would be scared that Trump might use force against him.
Putin more ready to come to the negotiating table than ever.
He's scared because he's been trying to interfere in the election on Biden's side. So,
yeah, there was that in the news too, just recently. Yeah. That same guy from the Trump thing was.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Or the guy his last name like Korolev or something like that. He was the one that helped Hillary get all that Russian nonsense into the election to throw mud at Trump.
They're scared of Trump. But there have been some big things lately. I mean, unions are siding with Trump. The amount of black vote now for Trump is expected to be 50%. That's outrageous, man.
Joe the plumber is on his side.
I mean, people who have never voted Republican are voting Republican. I mean, you've got unions who have never.
People who never voted either way are voting this election.
But I mean, you've got unions, even teachers' unions, that have never, ever, ever, ever voted red that are voting red now. And yet they're trying to say this is close. That's what's scary.
Well, it might be.
I can't see anywhere where it's close.
Well, I mean, you had 7 million votes. You can probably bridge that gap.
And that was before he had somebody like Kennedy running against him.
Yeah.
See, that's his whole problem. And I noticed,
We didn't
and I
have
got
a
on,
third distracting party in the last one.
so I got on CNN's ass about this last week. I wrote to the Post. I noticed a lot of y'all's polls don't include Kennedy, and I said I heard Kennedy is running. He said he's definitely running for sure. I said, why aren't y'all taking that 10% away from Joe Biden that you know he's going to lose to Kennedy? I said, as best I can see at this point, this is a landslide for Trump. And I said, and if it's not, I think you're going to see more than half the country upset. I said, because
I think that's what you're going to see. I think that's what you're going to see. You're going to see like 100 million votes for Biden, and people are going to be like, "What?"
Yeah, nobody's going to believe that.
Well, I know, but let's say it happens. What do? You do? There's nothing you can do.
Oh yeah, there's a lot you can do. Then
it happens twice in a row. You cry foul. I mean, come on.
What can you do, Joe? I mean, you can cry, bitch, whine.
No.
The best thing you can do is stop paying your taxes. Just stop paying taxes.
No, it doesn't work that way because let's say I think registered voters right now is about 160, 170 million. Trump's going to draw 86 to 90 million no matter what. So if he pulls 100 or more, that's way more than is actually registered. You can take that out. Congress will have to go through that. Everyone will have to look at that, and then and there. They will. They'll have to. They won't have a choice because the country won't let it slide. The country barely let it slide last.
Yeah, you have more faith. I think Americans are complacent.
Americans are disgusted with Biden. If it was anybody but Biden,
I agree, but they're not going to do anything about it.
They don't have a choice.
Like we can't rely on leaders to solve anything anymore. You got to solve your own problems.
It's not even worried about leaders.
They can't even make command decisions. Or
when you're still making $9 an hour and paying $15 for a Happy Meal, you're not going to keep tolerating. And so what I've been seeing mostly with people is people are just pissed.
Yes,
I can't even find any of my Democrat friends that are going to vote for Biden right now. Even in Cali, he's only pulling like 41%.
They might still vote for him anyway.
But you see, that's the other problem. If they do, these people will come out and say, no, we didn't vote for him. And there's been some other things that have recently come up about the 2020 election. So what they're hoping for.
Joe, it was the freest and fairest election in human history.
Yeah, but
there's never been a freer election. There's absolutely no.
I see the company with the machines dropped their lawsuit.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting because
they were impenetrable. I mean, nothing,
unhackable.
So we already know. Right. So we already know. Even on the Democrats' mat, they've got 7 of the states that flipped last time flipping back for Trump. So even they would be shocked if they won, and they'll tell you right now they would be shocked if they won. So I don't even know.
I mean, the writing's in the cards. I mean,
well, you've got too many Democrats that think that all this criminal stuff is election fraud. They really do. If 50% of all Democrats think that the Democrats have gone overboard and are trying to win by cheating. So even they're turning on them. The independents have already turned on them. The libertarians have already turned on them. Now you got.
What's really scary though? You know what's really scary? Like this whole Google Gemini thing with all the stuff that's happening there. That's what we could see. That all these tech companies are doing. Like that's what they're doing in the open. The question is how is this going to impact the election in just the search algorithms, the news stories that are pushed to the top, the news stories that are ignored,
or pushed off the server.
Like people, it's all. Everybody had a laugh about it, but like that's terrifying. Just think if that's just the tip of the iceberg. What other information are they manipulating and distorting and things like that? Of course, but it's horrifying.
I mean, that's why I mean the NSA has allegedly been since like the 60s, maybe as early as the 50s, but at least the 60s or 70s have been able to record and listen to every telephone conversation in this country, and their main reason is for national security. My father's telephones at his place of business and our homes. And my cell phone probably still is tapped because of the nature of his business. Our phones were tapped the whole time I was a kid. But I couldn't get on the phone and call one of my friends without having some, NSA goon G-man on the other side smoking cigars going, listening to my conversations. It was the most disgusting thing on the whole planet. But we couldn't say anything about it because my dad's business was he was a top secret contractor for the U.S. Navy Department.
Okay, well, we got to go to break, guys. So everybody hang on to their fingers there for a minute. And What's that? Bruce Lee? Really? Bruce Lee?
You better not. Nobody better be pulling a tubing over here. Okay, no tubings.
Oh man! Oh man!
This isn't a Zoom call. This isn't a professional meeting here. No
That's
tubing.
right. No. Anyway, Jesus Christ. Anyway, we're going to break, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to United Public Radio out of the great city of New Orleans. This is News on the Flip Side with Sean, Jay, and Joe. Hope y'all enjoy it. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Coming up is blue and black, I should say. Sorry. And if y'all don't know what it is, I'll tell you when I get back. So here we go. Bloop, bloop. Well, bloop, bloop, and bloop. Oh, man, you're such a good listener. Yes, you are. No, you're not, asshole. Oh, excuse me. Did I say that out loud?
Yes, you did.
Welcome back, everybody. Where's my cam? There it is. Ooh, yeah, baby. Shake it around. So,
what is blue on black, Joe?
Well, it depends what you want to believe. Blue and black
Bruises.
for most people would be cops.
Or bruises that you
No,
received from cops.
So you never see them when they have the things on the stripes, blue and black.
Yeah.
That's police officers. Is that what he's talking about? Well, you could flip a coin on that, couldn't you? What is that, Joshua? Joshua Rainman, where the hell are you? San Francisco, California. I feel for you, brother. I do. I feel. Where you live? Oh, you upper middle class. What the hell is upper middle class? Never mind. I don't even want to go there.
In San Francisco, it means like super wealthy.
Oh, so that's what that means. So super wealthy. Do you have hookers in your front yard and people taking a, you know what? Really? You got video? I tell you what. Yeah, we can play it on here. This is not a G-rated show. So if you want to send it, send it on over. ICAR at Cox.net. ICAR at Cox.net. Send it on over. Yeah, we'll play it on here. We're not bashful. So anyway, what? Oh, so okay. So this guy's a Democrat. He's saying what we were just talking about. Basically, if Biden wins, we know the country is just a load of shit and it's time to move to Canada. You mean what? 200 million of us just shift to Canada? It's not how that's going to work, man.
Oh, it's not so hot up there in Canada, dude.
So we split 100 million, go to Mexico and take it over, and 100 million go to Canada, take it over, and then we get all take it over. We just come back and take our country back, right?
That's the thing. We strategically we cannot take over Canada. Canada is our buffer from Russia. Canada's northern border is the longest sea coast of the entire planet of any one country.
I'm from
Canada. When Russia comes across that border, we have enough time to get our stuff together so we can go up below from the bottom of Canada and meet them in the middle before they get to our border. We need Canada. We can't take it over.
Well, then we just take it over and run the damn place. Actually, my thing with Canada is the same thing as with Mexico. I've always said this. We should have already annexed both countries.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, come on. We're responsible for both of their defenses. What kind of army does Mexico have? Really? I mean, what are they going to do? Invade Texas? Texas will kick their ass, man. Give me a break. They'll just put the Rangers on it.
I tell you what, though, the cartels are pretty damn well armed.
Yeah, the cartels are armed, but they'll be on our side.
They're trained by like Delta, U.S. Special Forces. Like,
that's what I'm saying. So the cartels will be on our side because they want their drug money to keep flowing. Yeah. So they'll be on our side. So Mexico don't have a prayer. And then Canada? What are they going to do? Throw elk leaves at us?
Why don't you ask our station manager what?
No, you see, as long as we stay away from her, we're all fine. You just don't invade Niagara Falls.
Just gonna sit back and drink beer, you hoser.
It's well, what they got? 38 million. I mean, California could invade damn Canada. It's just. Well, no, okay, California couldn't invade. I take that back because their asses would get lost trying to get through Oregon, and by the time they got to Seattle, they'd be so stoned.
Maybe a drag parade invasion. That's about it. But
northern California could invade Canada now because they actually are away.
And central California,
It's just a southern California. No, Jack.
It's north. Like it's around San Francisco is a little iffy.
Yeah, well,
San Francisco is crazy.
I consider San Francisco south anyway. It's only 4 hours away. It's no, I think it's 4 hours from LA, not from San Francisco. I mean, from San Diego is further south than Los Angeles is, doofus. I forgot it was like 2 hours or something.
Yeah, LA is like a 5 to 7 hour drive from San Francisco.
Yeah, and we love everybody in California. I can't help it. You've got an idiot for a governor. I did not put him in there. We'll talk about my idiot governor in a little bit, but look, I love California is beautiful. You got great people. It's a little crazy sometimes, but it's no worse than here any else place I've ever been. There's just crazy people all over our country. You have to get used to that. They might take it a little far sometimes. So what happens is Californians think it's a good idea, so they elect some idiots who said, "Oh, let's do this with." We're not going to go there. It's like putting bathrooms on San Francisco streets and paying people to watch them so the homeless can go to the bathroom. Okay, that seems like a good idea in theory, right? I mean, really.
Actually, by the way, San Francisco, have you ever tried to take a dump in San Francisco?
No.
It is like the Odyssey. It is like you have to go through like, Charybdis and Scylla and Charybdis, and you got to go like through the Pillars of Hercules, and then you got to go like half the people with you get turned into pigs by Circe, and then by the time you get there, like you're straining so badly, then you finally find one, you got to get the key, you get the key, and then like some homeless dude tries to follow you in, like it is. There's a reason that people have no choice but to empty it out on the sidewalk.
So. Now we're going back, God, longer than you. Well, no, you're a little bit older than that, but a long time ago. So I was stationed in San Diego for boot camp. Good friend of mine who's at Hilton says, "Let's go to San Francisco." Some family hotels. We'll go hang out for a couple of days. We were on harp duty. We were out of boot camp, and this, he went and spent 2 weeks down in Mexico, riding down the peninsula, just having a ball, and I ride on the inside of the peninsula is what I should say. And then we came back, we did some harp duty, and we had some more time off. He said, "Well, let's go up to San Francisco. I got some friends in San Francisco." He said, "If not, we'll stay at the hotel." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." Man, so I get it. San Francisco was beautiful. Everybody was friendly. The food was good. I was really surprised because I'm from New Orleans, and most of the time when I travel, I find the food to be lacking, and that's as nice as I can say that. And with the exception, maybe some beef stuff, but man, San Francisco had good food. They had good seafood, which is, we are big seafood down here in the South and on the Gulf Coast. And I was happy. I had a good time. And then about 10 years later, I was out there filming with Prometheus. Oh, not with Prometheus, with ABC at Discovery. Damn. And I was like, yeah, the place is looking a little haggard, a little polluted. And then about 10 years after that, I was there. I was like, damn, is this the same? I was just like, this is not the place. So now I haven't been in 10 years. Now, a good friend of mine wants to bring me to the Chinese theater, have dinner up there, and fly me up from LA to go have dinner with him, and then fly me back. And I'm like, I got it passed. And I said, I don't want to go to San Francisco. But I said, I've been to San Fran, baby. I said, from what I hear now, it's far worse than the last time I went.
It went from being like probably the most beautiful city on the planet.
It was a beautiful city. It was a gorgeous city.
To like fecal hellscape. So,
a good friend of mine, a guy friend of mine the other day sends me a video. He's driving across the bridge, the San Francisco bridge. He sends me his video. He's in his car. I said, dude, drive the car. But no, he's got to have a video. He said, look how surreal and peaceful it is. I'm like, I said, you do know I live everywhere. Every place you go here, you have to cross not one bridge, but many bridges. Some real tall, some real flat, some real long. I said, I'm sorry, but it just doesn't throw me, my friend. It's a beautiful bridge, and it did look like a nice ride. It was kind of bumpy ride, though. I noticed his high-dollar car was, so it wasn't exactly the smoothest bridge in the world. But he's done moved. He was actually there on business. He used to live there, but he's moved. He was going to move. He did move to New York City for about 6 months. And his wife
Why would you take that trade? That's like the worst.
I know, and that's what his wife said. And she's like, I met these people because both of them say they've been abducted by aliens. But anyway, they I know, and they're really rich. That's amazing. So anyway, she told him divorce or Florida. He said, you can go anywhere you want, even Miami. You go anywhere you want in Florida or divorce. It's your choice, but we're not living in New York City. She said the first time it snowed, I looked at him like, oh, you got something to carry me around in the snow? Because I'm not putting my feet in that.
Snow was the problem?
Look, I shouldn't even get to see anything else. Oh, wait, no, that one other problem. So this reminds me of something else, but one other problem. They were going to have dinner at some really, it took like the 3 months they were there to get a reservation. They're all decked to the nines, and they sent me a picture going in the door, and right about goes right
Oh,
across
New York, yeah,
the
definitely.
So well, New Yorkers are like New Orleans. We just ignore that shit. Well, there's rats all over the place. But they were from San Fran. And obviously, there was no rats from where they used to live. She said that was the struggle. She said, I told him it was either divorce or she said, and he said, well, why can't we go here? She said, Florida, because he wanted to go to DC.
Oh my God!
DC's got the
Well,
worst
because
rat.
some of the stuff he does would probably help him to be in DC. So she said, well, I'll tell you what, we'll settle for Jackson, which puts you pretty close to DC. I think it's like a drive is only like 10 hours. A flight's like an hour or something.
From Jacksonville, it's about an 11-hour, 12-hour drive to DC.
Yeah, so it's and I think they actually live a little north of there. So I know she said they tried to stay as close to the city as they could and get as close to the Georgia line as they could. So what do you mean, Jack? No, Georgia borders Florida. That's where Savannah is up above there.
Savannah is exactly 1 hour and 9 minutes from the city limits of Jacksonville. Yeah. St. Petersburg's all the way at the other end of the panhandle, I think.
I was stationed in Jacksonville, NAS Cecil Field.
It's a neat little town.
I got San Diego. I got Norfolk. Ooh, Norfolk was so
my dad had to go to Norfolk News.
Yeah.
That's boring, man. Norfolk
was boring. It was boring. It was nothing.
Boring.
It was like even a hooker's
It's a business port. It's busy. There's
No,
nothing there for you to see.
check it out in Norfolk. You know how you go to some San Diego and other sailor towns, and there you got strip teasers, you got nude ladies. In Norfolk, they had to wear bikinis, and that was
because it was prude central. I remember when
we don't drink, we don't smoke, Norfolk.
Nope, they don't do anything. So I remember we docked, and they're giving us all these rules. I'm like, what do you mean? And I said, well, I told my friend, I'm just going to stay on the ship and get drunk on the ship. And he said, no. He said, he goes, what was his last famous words? I'm sure there's a hooker somewhere in this town. I started laughing. I said, I can tell this night is going to end badly. We're going to end up in jail. I can just see it's coming.
SPs are going to come looking for us.
So every time they got close to, and their bars weren't even really that busy. He said, babe, you do it for money. One chick was a Marine chick. She just punched him right square in the side of the head. I couldn't stop laughing. He said, it's not funny. I said, you stupid. I said, just quit. I said, we're only here for 3 days. Chill out. I said, we had something going on with the reactor, something scram problem. So we were only going to be in here for 3 days. And so I was like, and we were headed to, where we were headed after that? Oh, we were porting somewhere in right outside of New York. And I was like, so just chill. I said, I'm going to get a drink across the street to come back. Cops got him handcuffed. He done grabbed some girl's ass. I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? I said, you just malfunctioning. He said, man, it's that mezcal y'all gave me. Because we had picked up when we were on the whole side of the other side of the world. We were in the Pacific Ocean, which is the Nemesis tour duty. We only went to Norfolk because we had something they could only fix there, which amazed me. And then we went back through, and Nimitz was too big to go through the canal. So guess what? All the way down to the end and all the way around
the Cape of Hope or whatever. What is that?
And it's so funny. You're cruising along. It's all warm and all. You're cruising along. And one morning you get up, just freaking snow on the end of the carrier. You're like, what the hell's going on? You're in the Antarctic. You're like, come on. It was people being in the Navy is just sheer insanity.
It was a lot of fun.
I don't think it matters what branch of the service you're in. I think it's just insanity. Well, no, it's controlled. And so, all right, real quick, because we got to get back to the news. But so I get brought on them, and I got these real high scores. So they made me a PC at plane cap. So I was in charge of the whole area on my deck. That means every guy, and even the pilots had that listen to my ass. So I get out, and I'm like 18, all right, just barely made 18. I mean, I'm just, come on, you know how much adrenaline is pumping through my brain thinking about all of this stuff on the deck at the same time. So
millions.
I get out there. I got my boy over here. He's got my catapult under control. He's watching for my signals. I got my chalk boy over here who's going to pull the chalks from the way. He's also checking to make sure all the pins jet. I got my lifter guy and my guy checking his ailerons and flaps in front and ready. And all I'm doing is just stand on the side like this. I'm squatted halfway down. The pilot's looking at me. That's all that's going on. And I'm watching everybody. When I see the signals come through, you see my hand go, and then you see, and you're like, and that's just, and everybody, it's like a symphony. I mean, everybody's there. One F up, somebody dies.
Yeah.
Because any of the boys on the outside, if they don't clear in time, the jet wash will either kill them from the hit or if we're just knocking them off the end of the ship. Either way, they're dead because the props are back there. And like if I even stand up this much, I'm.
Yep.
You know, any guys, the only guy who's really safe is a catapult guy, unless the catapult recoils and then he's. Oh, we do. I forgot. You know we got the elevator guy too. I forgot.
I got a Navy story real quick. When I was on the Independence, they loaded this plane up onto the catapult, and the captain, the plane captain, saluted too quick, so there was no steam in that catapult. So they released them, and the plane went up, over, and down in the water.
Yeah.
So what they had to do was launch off 2 F-14 Tomcats, right? And they had to sink that sucker with 50 cals.
Yeah, because you got to put it on the bottom. If you can't retrieve it, and you don't want to go in through your props because you never know what kind of damage it's going to cause.
Oh my God!
They usually do a full stop. I've been on a carrier to full stop. You're sitting there. Next thing I was on the deck when it happened. We stopped, and the ass in, the carrier just comes up like the waves underneath it, and you're just. I mean, this thing is hundreds of tons. If you find yourself just flying down the damn runway, what I did is I grabbed a arresting cable to stop my ass. I cracked these 2 fingers right here, man. I go get a bandage up. I was like, I felt like a jet for a minute. I wasn't the only one doing it either. It was there was no warning. You know, we had a ship. We had one that it just stalled. It was a perfect launch. Everything was fine. He hit his secondary thrusters to kick out, and you just heard, and the plane just went. Plunk. Yep. And you see, they got lucky because both chutes came out, and they didn't land on the deck. Every now and then, I've seen one actually make the deck, but they kind of went off to the left of the ship. And then you heard full stop. Hard right rudder and full stop is what you heard. So that as we were stopping, we were kind of using the boat to push over, to push the plane out of the way. I'm like, what this shit is just dangerous. And I remember when my captain, the first mate, the first officer, he goes, you're the one that fixed the dual control in the reactor room? I said, yeah, I went down and took care of it. I said, it just wasn't making a good connection. It's just basic electronics. And I said, and then I came up and refitted the secondary radar because the guy down there said it was getting some kind of weird interference. He looked at me he said, what are you on my boat for, boy? And I said, advanced avionics and advanced electronics. So he said, what the hell are you doing on the flight deck? I said, because I love it. That's where I didn't want to swear I wanted to be, man. It was great. And
that's where all the action is.
Well, after that, my ass was everything that was it. So they that's when they decided I had a class 5 security clearance. And he said, well, I can't promise you this. He said, but I'm pretty sure you're going to be off the flight deck and up here. I'm like, really? And, so about 2 weeks passed. He comes back. He said, it was about 3 weeks, actually. He said, okay, you're clear for a class 10 security clearance. He said, with the exception of me and the captain, you've got one of the highest clearances. He said, you got clear all the pilots in the boat. I'm like, what? So he tells me what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be on the conning tower, which already you got to have this outrageous security clearance because of all the shit that's in there. All of our advanced military systems are in there. Anything that the Russians or Chinese would want is in that freaking room.
Mm-hmm.
Secondary, I was in charge of all electronics maintenance on the airplanes, the ordnance, and the reactor room. So he said there was only 2 of us on the boat that even could even go to all of those places. He said, other than that, he said we have certain people which we got to run those people. I had guys that were 40 years old working for me. I was amazed, and they listened. That was amazing. He said, no, you're the guy. You're the one with the degree. You're the one that knows what's going on. We need to know what we're doing. I'm like, cool. But the jets were easy. Plug and play. I wonder if that's classified shit. No, I don't think so. They're plug and play people. What I mean is, instead of trying to fix a resistor or condenser or something on the board itself, a chip or anything, you take the one out, slide the new one in, clear, you're done. It takes way less time and it works way better. You'd be amazed some of the things I learned about stuff, which I can't talk about even today. Yeah, I know, it's amazing. Jimmy, no, we're going to be talking about, you mean the Ukrainians?
Yeah, there's a lot happening over there, actually.
So,
not just in Ukraine.
I've seen a United Nations, a EU post yesterday from the EU News that it feels like the EU may be switching directions and wanting to back Putin in the rest of this war.
Wow.
So now I haven't seen that from like Poland or from Germany or from any other countries, but it was in the news. So is this some bullshit story? Could be.
Well, yeah, I don't think you're going to hear any of that from Poland. I just saw a news blip this afternoon. Well, I think it was ABC. I'm not positive. It was just on in the background, and they said that there's 3 or 4 countries just on the northwestern border of Ukraine, and I think it's Lithuania, Belarus, Poland, and one other. I forget what the 4th one is, but 3 of these countries have increased their GDP production on military spending by 2%, and Poland has increased their military budget by 4%. So these 4 countries are preparing to either get their asses kicked or start kicking ass. They're ready for something to come across their borders.
Well, if you listen to the EU news and a lot of the other news is including the Russian news, we're going to war. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, it's just a matter of one mistake.
What's his name? Medvedev.
Medvedev.
Well, he came out and said that he thought, this is a quote, that because of all the help that was given to the Ukraine by the English, he should nuke London. And if the United States and all keep interfering, it should be a lesson taught to them that London and New York should be nuked simultaneously. I'm looking at this guy going, are you just stupid?
Yeah.
Even Joe Biden's not going to let you nuke London and New York. I mean, you're going to die. And that's if you get a nuke over here without getting shot down. I said, I can't guarantee.
And even if Joe Biden did say, no, don't launch a counterattack, I guarantee you the closest gentleman's going to punch him dead in the face and launch it himself. There's no way we're going to lose New York.
Well, we won't have to because NATO will. It won't be. It won't even be our.
Nobody's jumping in.
So NATO is just going to say, well, we'll have to strategically take out all your nuclear silos now and most of your military, and we'll just
annex your country and split it up for the good of the rest of the planet.
They'll call the United States and Britain and some of their other allies, and there'll be a joint nuclear strike along with a military back. But the problem is, who wants to nuke anything? We live in the Northern Hemisphere. You can't nuke nothing. It doesn't. And see, that just tells you how dumb this guy is. So if you nuke New York, you nuked Moscow.
It comes back around. The fallout will come back around.
Everybody, Americans,
it's all over the northern. Nuking Brazil, go for it because that's all going to be down there.
You can do an airburst and you can minimize fallout.
But still, it's in the air. As the planet rotates, that stuff's just going to it's not going to dissipate as much. It's still there.
If it's 1 nuke or 2 nukes, but still it's going to be a lot of contamination. But so in case you don't remember, ladies and gentlemen, all the red dust that was all over the country for weeks and weeks and weeks. Remember the China dust? Did y'all forget about that? We share their trade winds along with the southern part of Russia and all of China. Any nukes going on there, eventually we're going to pay for. If it gets into their soil and their air, eventually it's going to get into our soil and our air. It's just a matter of time. It depends on the amounts. I mean, there's big oceans in between us. I mean, look at Fukushima. We haven't seen stuff wash up on the coast in Northern California, Oregon, and Washington State, and even in Vancouver. There has been above normal radiation washing in from Fukushima. But
and when Fukushima happened, they were showing the radiation bloom from satellite images, and the bloom was going all the way across the Pacific Ocean, which is the largest part of our ocean. And then well past California into like middle of the country, almost. And that's just from an accident and not even an actual explosion. I mean, think about that.
Thank God for all the vapor in between, bringing that shit down in different places. It's just dangerous, people. I mean, because if they do that and the United States does not retaliate, or NATO or England, then it's just 2 nukes and maybe the world changes. But
he won't do that. I mean, it's just bluster. I mean, if he were going to do something that he could do stuff that's far scarier than that.
So what I really
nuclear missile, detonate it in the Atlantic Ocean, cause a tsunami to wipe out the eastern seaboard. Like he could do that.
Yeah,
that's a little.
Yeah,
scary.
he could do that.
Yeah, you could. And
what do you have to launch one? Take one of the subs out there and pull
it's a Poseidon missile. Yeah, Poseidon torpedo. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even have to launch anything, and then pull the safeties off on the nuclear.
Do y'all know there's a
boom tsunami.
There's a movie that does that.
Take out Europe and America.
There's a movie out there that does that, and then the United States Navy launches a 25 kiloton nuke straight at the tsunami and evaporates it.
Oh yeah,
So
Pseudo
is that true? Is that pseudoscience? I don't know. It'd be one of the ones you'd be hoping for. I know that.
You're still creating another tsunami. It's still going to.
No, because if it's above the water, you're not creating the tsunami. It's pushing it down and pushing it out. It's actually just disintegrating. And you got to remember, not all that water is going to be pushed away. A lot of it's going to be turned to vapor. But still, it's going to create a mean ass tsunami anyway it goes. We're in a precarious situation. If the rumors of Putin are true about him being sick, I get nervous. If they're not, and he's just being an ass, then this is just
you still be nervous.
But what worries me about all this is I mean, he's got to know nuking London is war. I know Xi Jinping knows it for sure.
I would hope they would know.
So if you're going to nuke something, a tactical nuke in Kiev, we would let slide.
By the way, it didn't help that the British just tried a nuclear test. Nuclear test, a missile test. It's like a 58-ton missile that just, I think the second time they fired, the last time they did the test was 10 years ago, and it failed again. So not looking good. And by the way, when's the last time we tested our nuclear stockpile? How do we know that things are going to go off at the right?
Yeah, we don't.
The general in charge of Space Command said that he figures for every 4 missiles fired, one will make its target and detonate. He said, as far as the other ones making a target or detonate, he said it's 50-50 at best. He said some of these missiles are 50, 60, 70, 50, 60, I think he even said 70 years old. Yeah. He said there are missiles here that have been here since 55. He said, he said, but he was honest. He said, when we were up to 12,500 missiles, we went old to new. He said, so we've been getting rid of the old ones. So we only really have the new ones. He said, but even the new ones are 40.
They're old, yeah. And even if they don't actually, explode nuclear-wise, they will devastate what they hit, if they hit.
Well, I mean, it can become a dirty bomb if they don't explode. So, I mean, there's all kind of ways it can go. And if a United States sees one that's impacted and had exploded, they can always shoot a sidewinder into the wall or a cruise missile into it. Maybe a 1 kiloton to set off the 25 kiloton. It's just dangerous. And America don't even need that. We still have the neutron bomb. We don't have to blow shit up. We can just kill you and kill your plants and come take your cities in 5 years.
Wasn't that outlawed and everybody forswore development on it?
Well, Russia could never get it to work. I think that's why they wanted it outlawed. But last I heard, America had at least 200 of them, which is plenty enough to wipe out all.
It was perfected somewhere in the 80s, I recall, because that was one of the big news.
Well, everybody said it was a rumor and it never had been made. There was lots of rumors that it had never been made. And then there was a release of a test video somewhere out in New Mexico. There was a blast. And you see this blast. I mean, it's big, just gloomy ass light. I mean, it's blinding. It felt even more intense than a regular nuke. And then, boom, it went back almost like a star and then disappeared. And everything was still standing. The tower was there. The people were there. Nothing caught on fire. Nothing was dead. And then you see this guy, I mean, at least 10 miles away with a Geiger counter, and it's going. You're like, what? You got to be kidding. Yeah. But they just irradiated the whole area is what they did. The neutron bombs are dangerous, people. They kill you, and they kill your dogs and your flowers and everything else, but they leave your city and your cars and your electronics intact.
Plant life in the blast radius would probably be also destroyed, and the soil probably rendered useless.
But the half-life is
future crops. But
on the very newest ones we had was 2 years. The original ones was 5 years. I mean, that's nothing for radiation.
Yeah.
Half-life. I mean, it's
unless everything is irradiated by the neutron bomb, in which case a month is enough to destroy life on Earth.
Well, that's true too. That's true too. So, well, Glenn, I mean, these are weapons that are just. We shouldn't be using. We shouldn't have. Well, you hear us talk about the one in space all the time. We're not even talking about what's supposed to be nuclear-wise up there. We just talk about a little tungsten.
Yeah. Did we ever find out what the heck? What's his name? The congressman from Ohio was talking about, Mike Turner, where he's talking about that crazy thing, troubling development, and then all of a sudden it went dark. Did we ever figure out what that was?
So you remember that, right? And then Space Command was putting up a ship that day, and they canceled it.
Yeah,
indefinitely they canceled it. So I think what happened is, and I can't swear by this. So Russians were putting out all this information. We think, oh shit, we screwed up. They got something we didn't know about. We have effed up. We're sending up something right now to take care of it. And then I guess intelligence, we found that it was bullshit. and we canceled everything because it wasn't just the one there. They canceled 2 different missions, spy or DARPA missions, basically, that were going up. That were just like all of a sudden out of the blue, they're going up, and then we heard this shit about Russia and this other stuff, and then okay, and then nothing. And the media, it's also something that always has bothered me about our media. They're like, okay, well, no big deal. Really, people? You don't want to know what happened? Why they canceled it? What was going on? I mean, DARPA's just going to tell you, oh, it was due to this bullshit or that bullshit. But still, it would be nice to ask. Get them on the record for future bullshit. That's how you do politicians.
They just do what they're told. They just do what they're told.
Yeah, well, I know they do. They do what they're told. But a problem for everybody right now is I've seen this happen in this country before. America gets angry, or actually gets more just pissy in general. And then you'll actually start seeing, like the last time this happened, which was right before 9/11, they started dropping, they were kicking incumbents out left and right all over the country. I mean, it was the biggest thing. And then as this was going on, boo, let's get America's mind off of this bullshit. Oh my God. Because we were on the verge of a little mini revolution in the country. And then for some reason, the country just said, you know what? It is the politicians. And everybody started kicking their local politics. Anybody who'd been over like 12 years was getting kicked out. Yeah. And then all of a sudden we had this boom. And then we weren't worried about that anymore. We were too worried about blowing up people in Iraq and Afghanistan. We were just blowing the shit out of everybody at that point. I don't know, guys and girls. It's just suspicious is all I can say. It's all I can say. I just, we because America's weird. We put up with the politicians. I've seen this 3 times so far, and this looks like there's a 4th coming up. We just get to a point where we're like, we've been led along like little dogs with a little piece of liver in front of you. Yeah, the little cat in front of the donkey. We just blindly follow along, and then all of a sudden, and it usually has nothing to do with a politician. We just wake up for a little while and we're like, what the fuck is going on? How much am I paying for a loaf of bread? How much? Wait a minute. And then you look at your state where you're paying 7 and I'm paying 3. And they're like, well, wait, what? Oh, no, this has got to stop. So the only way you can stop it is to get the incumbents out. So I think you're going to see a lot of incumbents get dropped this election. I think a lot more than we've seen in a while. And I don't know how, unless there's some kind of real big cheat, I'm not sure how Biden can win this. And I was listening to the head of the DNC day before yesterday going, well, we're going to win this. Yeah, we're going to win this. Somehow we're going to win this, but we're also making plans for the next election. Yeah, let's not forget about the next election. We got to make plans for that too. I'm thinking he's basically conceded this election.
Or he's basically told us that the Democratic Party has plans to interfere and cheat in the next election as well.
Well, yeah, they probably are, but
or
right
he knows
now,
he's already won.
Exactly right. Yeah, he's screwed the pooch and given away the spoiler alert.
This don't sound like a guy who thinks he won. This sounds like a guy who's pretty sure he's lost. I think, and that's another thing when I think you play these games, there comes a point, even Democrats have to go, you know what? The majority of America, like 65%, thinks Trump's going to win. If you don't, there's going to be hell to pay somewhere down the line. And I think even they sometimes just back off.
When dumb people are onto your cleverly hatched plan, it's time to get a new plan, and they don't have a new plan.
And also, too, you haven't really been seeing Hillary around, which is kind of scared me a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm kind of a
little.
It's a
good thing, but it is scary now that you mention that.
I mean, Hillary, where are you? Miss Hillary Clinton, please come to the room. Hillary Clinton, please come to the office.
She's probably in some back room of Obama pulling the strings on Biden.
What I understand, she's in Gitmo on trial, and she's about to get hung.
You can't. Hillary is just bulletproof. Wait, it says Hillary Clinton calling in. Hello, Miss Clinton. How are you tonight? Really? Which Sean? Either Sean? Oh, wait. You sure? No, ma'am. They're very nice guys. I'm sorry, man. We weren't talking about you. We were talking about a different Hillary. Oh, no. Jay would never. No, ma'am. He would never say anything like that. Me? No. Oh, I worship at the Hillary altar.
Yeah, she's our favorite person on the show.
Yes, we love you. Oh, no. We'd never talk bad about you. Oh, that asshole Trump. We talk bad about him, Hillary. Yeah, but we love you, baby. Yeah. Please don't kill us. No, please don't. I don't want to be like 67th or something. Please, ma'am, don't.
Joe, she's not going to kill you. You'll kill yourself.
I remember we did a show on Taste and Prophecy, and the Queen. Like some guy came on, or one of our guests, and said the Queen was a reptilian. That family was reptilian.
I think they're werewolves, but we can go with
And you
reptilian.
know what? I'm going to tell you right now. I really, honest to God, thought that the SAS was going to come knocking at my door the very next morning because of the shit we were saying on.
Look,
on
you're on
show.
this net, but if you're on this network, you're protected. They're not going to bother you. They're not going to bother you.
There's not anything they can do. I mean,
no, it's not even that. They're just we're basically, how can I say this? We're basically, look, we believe in helping the government. We want to give them information to educate their dumb asses, because a lot of times they're like, oh, I'm listening to Stephen Green. You know what? Stephen knows what he's talking about. And oh, this guy Koresh, who's never seen a UFO, seen an alien or anything else, is going to tell us what the aliens are doing. Okay. What did he do for a living? Oh, he was a spy. No, I mean, come on. Sometimes you just got to bitch slap people in the reality. And unfortunately, our government is in that position these days. We've got people like AOC and Elmore in there, and you're like, really? And what are y'all doing in there? See, and that makes you understand about New York when you see AOC. I mean, you look at AOC and then you think about the Bronx. And, I looked at the Bronx much differently before y'all put AOC. And I got to tell y'all this, guys, and the people in the Bronx. I really had a different outlook for you and a different respect for you. Now I'm kind of like, a bunch of wusses live down there in the Bronx, apparently. No, I mean, come on, AOC. I mean, my fucking Chihuahua is smarter than AOC. I mean, really, yeah, her parents, and I love the poor me act. Oh, well, I was a bartender and I had a hard time getting through college. Yeah, daddy paid for college. Don't even bullshit us. We know who paid for college. Bartending because you were bored. I mean, give me a fucking break, man.
How about when she did that interview and said, well, we need to go to the sun when it's dark out.
I know.
Did you hear that one?
She's
honest to God, she said that on an interview.
Yeah, you have to go at night because it'll be too bright in the daytime, or something like that.
She did. I was like dying. I'm like, where are you coming
She's
from?
an idiot. Well, it's like when she went to the park in the middle of the parking lot to talk to the people in the retainees, and she was just talking to air. And then somebody broke the video, and she's got fake tears in her face, and it's like, really, AOC? But yet she's still in office. Brooklyn people, what are you smoking? I know weed's legal in New York now, and apparently you got the really, really, like San Francisco got the really, really good shit.
Yeah, they're getting the 40% stuff.
Obviously, y'all got the really, really good shit too.
Well, I mean, not necessarily.
Obviously New Orleans does, because they don't give a shit either.
It wouldn't be the first time. Look back several years, 30 years ago, in the 80s, you had Marion Barry gets arrested with a prostitute in his boxers. I mean, they literally
smoking crack, straight up.
They literally walked
hitting the crack pipe
in his boxers and undershirt, and he had ankle garters, socks, and dress shoes on. They walked the mayor of DC through the public streets like this, and then he goes to jail and comes out. And he's elected the very next election, the first election out of jail. That man is back in office. So it's not just that idiot in New York; it's the people putting them there. Somebody votes for these people to go back to these jobs.
Oh, they're definitely idiots. I mean, I what's that, Bruce? Well, no, we were just talking about Lieberman earlier, that he's kind of changed his ways. I mean, we don't know, to what extent he's changed his ways, but it does seem like he has changed his ways.
Fetterman.
Oh, you mean Fetterman?
Oh, Fetterman. Sorry,
Fetterman's
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah, he had a stroke, and then he was like comatose for a few months, and then suddenly he went from like left to right overnight after Israel, like just like that.
It's what did that bomb? No, I mean, when it comes to these people, you just got to take it with a grain of salt. Well,
and a shot of tequila and a lime, it'll help.
Who
and a crack pipe.
What are you writing? What do you mean? Yeah, if you can pick Obama to win, we don't. I'm not Obama. I'm sorry, Biden to win. No,
you can pick Obama to win too. He ain't gonna, but you can pick him.
Look, you can. Oh, okay. We'll address that. Hold on. Let me get back where I can see the guys. So we're gonna play a song in a minute, but all right. So if Obama was to be caught interfering in Joe Biden's how he's running the country, if he was to be found out that he may have had something in directing our country treason ain't even the word for what happens to him. They will execute him. Yeah, they won't even put him in prison. They will
drawn and quartered in front of the queen.
You just some things you just can't do, and that's just one of them. The country, which it wouldn't, nobody could say. I mean, yeah, maybe. What do you mean? All black people would get? No, they would not. A lot of blacks didn't like Obama, and since he's been in office, a lot more don't like him.
Yeah.
Well, because Trump nailed everybody. So this was the wake up for everybody in this country when Trump got on TV and said, "Well, can you tell me what the Democrats have done for you lately?"
Yeah.
And he was addressing a black audience, and everybody, you've seen the whole audience just go,
What did they do for you lately?
I mean, it was not rowdy and noisy, and they were giving Trump shit, and he said that, and everybody was just instantly quiet. And nobody for the next hour could tell him what they had done in the last 30 years. Well, actually, for the last 50 years, you got to go all the way back to Kennedy. So really.
Well, on those same elections, they did the same. They did some exit polls for Obama, and they did, and I forget who it was. It might have been ABC again, maybe CBS, one of the main public broadcasters, and they were asking people coming out of the polls after they voted if they thought that it was great that Obama had done this thing or that thing or another thing, but the things they were asking about weren't accredited to Obama; they were accredited to Republicans, and every Obama voter was like, "Oh yeah, it's a great thing he did that. I'm so glad he voted for that." And I'm like, "Yeah, that was the Republican guy." So people had like a lot of misconceptions about Obama and how good he was and how well he was liked. Well, he was not very well liked.
Well, first off, I never really hated Obama, and I knew that no matter what anybody said, his poll, they were going to try to give him like exit polls when he was leaving of like 62, which is an impossibility. But you have to go back to Reagan to find those kind of numbers. And whether you liked Obama or not, he left the country worse off than he found it. And America remembers that. So Democrats can try to forgive you because you're a Democrat, but Republicans, independents, libertarians, and centralists are not. So the majority of the country, like at least 65%, are going to be like, because I think Democrats make up like 30% or 35%. So the rest of the country is going to be like, well, no, we're not satisfied with what went on. So, and I personally think Obama got screwed. I've said this a million times. They should have let Obama serve at least 6 years in the Senate just to make some friends. Yeah. Well, he could have made some friends in Congress. He would have learned how to play the game. He would have never let Nancy Pelosi got up there and say, pass it and then read it later. No, he would have never allowed that. I mean, that cost that one sentence
knowledge too of how to run a government, because he hasn't run. He's running the whole country. He hasn't even run a whole state yet.
No, he was a community organizer. He didn't even run a neighborhood.
Yeah,
but we letting him run our country. So I mean, it was insanity to start off with, and unfortunately, he's the one that really paid the most, because he had good ideas. He could have been a good president if he could have had a bipartisan thing. But there was no way, man. There was, so he because of Nancy's one statement, he did get his health care or his catastrophic care is what it really came out to be.
ACA across the board.
So he did get that passed, but they took the House from him because of it.
Yeah.
And then they were still pissed. And when they found out it was catastrophic care, they took the Senate from him.
Yeah, and he was fighting both his party and the Republican Party at the same time without control of the House.
He was done. No, Sean's got 13 children. Yes. Yes.
And the reason he has 13 children is because he did not want 14.
Something about to do with the numbers. I don't know. Everybody.
He's got his own unhangable jury.
Yeah, I started a cult, so I needed some followers.
That's the best way to do it. I'll send y'all some. I got some grandkids. I got some great grandkids y'all can have too. And pretty soon it looks like some great grandkids. So yes.
Damn, boy.
I know I'm older than dirt, man. It's
dirt's pretty damn old.
What's that?
Joe's so old he still owes Jesus 5 shekels.
That's right. That's why he allows me. That's why he allows me to keep going on out here.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah.
Good one, Sean. Good one.
Actually, I haven't even looked to see what we're going to play. Why? You got something you want to send me? No, we're gonna be doing some polls in a few minutes just to see where everybody thinks everybody's at. But
it's pretty sure it's Trump in the lead.
Oh wait. Well, no. We can real quick. We can answer that. So, this guy wants to know basically how successful do we think the Houthis and the other ones will be over there in trying to sink an American ship?
Not very, but they are going.
They've been doing it for a while. I mean,
they've been shooting in that area for a while and not hitting us. But they also, I mean, they have a better chance of doing more damage to non-military type vessels because they did. I'm sure they've got some of the equipment we left behind in Afghanistan. Because otherwise, they would not be as bold. They've got to have something that's bolstered their morale. Kick them in the guts or something because of the equipment we left behind. Maybe that's why they're doing it, because they have better equipment now and they can use it. But
Iran's helping them out, which is getting stuff from Russia.
Well, that's where I'm thinking they're getting that stuff from. Is Iran got something? Iran's right next to Afghanistan. They probably got that stuff first, and they're just shipping it out to guys who need our equipment to, create chaos.
Jackie, I can't remember the name of the boat. I do remember when I thought it started with a K or something. When the boat ran up inside and blew a hole in the side. No, it didn't even sink the boat. No.
USS Cole.
No, it's the Cole. It was
It was. Yes.
It was a fast frigate or a destroyer boat.
So I'm not saying that a drone can't hit one of our boats. It hits a carrier, it's not going to sink the carrier. And I'm telling you now, if you hit any of our carriers, you were just asking for that's like kicking a hornet's nest is what that's like doing. She got 130 jets on. They're just going to stop dropping bombs on you until they're out of them. And then another carrier is going to come in and start dropping bombs till they're out of them. And then another one's going to come in and keep. Eventually, there won't be nothing left of that part of the Middle East.
Even if they only just scratch the paint on one of our boats,
especially that new $14 billion carrier, don't scratch the paint on that. Somebody might get really upset.
$1 million paint fix up. Yeah,
I'm being serious. Somebody might get really upset
seriously.
about that.
They put a scratch on that paint, it's on. If they kill one of us, it's definitely on. But they scratch a boat, yeah. Boom.
Jeffrey, that is true, Jeffrey. The F-35s cannot land on our carriers. It was some kind of oversight. They're correcting that. Oh, but wait, the F-22s can. Oh, yes, my friend.
Yes.
It's not like that. The F-22s can land on them. I've seen them tail hook on it. Look, them planes are beastified. I would not. I don't give a frick what service you're in right now. It doesn't matter what Air Force you're in anywhere in this world. If I saw an F-22 headed towards me, I would actually turn around and go the other way.
Oh, speaking
because you're going to die. Actually, you're going to die before it ever sees you. You're not even going to see it when it kills you.
Speaking of F-22s, I saw this great hokey video. And I forget which aircraft carrier they were talking about. I think they might have said Ben Franklin. I don't remember. But anyway, it showed an F-22 landing on a carrier out in, I guess, the Pacific somewhere. And the video is talking about a UFO on the deck. And as the F-22 taxis, it has to slow down. So it's taxiing past the conning tower. You see a big blank elevator spot for planes to come up and down. And then a helicopter. And then on the next elevator is a TR-3B. But it is such a hokey, horrible, bad 3D rendering. I even recognize the picture. There's a model company. I think they're called Mobius. It makes a TR-3B, and I believe it's this model. The picture from the box that someone 3D rendered a little bit, and then kind of plopped it into this official U.S. Navy video. It's the worst ever. Have you guys seen that?
No.
So bad, so hokey.
What the hell is this? Get off of this thing. I don't know. These days, though, man, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. I've seen. We saw over. Where were we? We were in the NASA. We were in the NASA Stennis facility. We were inside their buffer zone grounds, and because there's a lot of testing out there, a lot of different stuff. We were just out there one night. We had some. This is right after Katrina. We had a bunch of friends in from all over the place that we're working with. So it was about 2 carloads out there. And Jason and Joe and Canuck Mike, he was from somewhere, Saskatchewan, Canada, and we're sitting out there, and we see this glow off at a distance. Like, what the hell is that? Now NASA's facility is right not far from you. We're 14 miles in the swamp though at this point. I mean, literally, it's 14 miles into the swamp where we're at, and we're about 10 miles from the NASA test rocket facility. So, but you can see it really well. But we're sitting there. I'm like, what the hell? So it looks like what looks to be, at first, it kind of glue, and then as it got closer, you realize that it was an F-18 Hornet just cruising along, minding its own business. And then couldn't even been 36, maybe 40 seconds because Joe was counting. There was a TR-3B just floating in behind it. And we were like, well, ain't this? So I guess it's being escorted back because we know they used to fly. They fly out of from Eglin Air Force Base all the way down to the Michoud facility and Louisiana, because all the interstate above, north of Interstate 10 is all rural. There's nothing in there.
They're also flying out of Wright Patterson as well up in the north.
But coming back, these are just flying around. And when they're coming back, they fly over the Gulf of Mexico back to Naval Air Station. It's just they can get out and cruise and have fun. We've actually seen one go down. It's really weird, but I mean, so we're sitting there watching this, and Karma's got the camera running nonstop, and they're taking pictures, and I'm like, wow. And then out of nowhere, you see this white glow, and this saucer just comes in and drops in between them. I mean, just we don't know where it came from. It was just all of a sudden there was a glow, and it just
about 80,000 feet up,
and it just kind of it just looked kind of weird because it just kind of went, and it stopped, and it just was sitting in between them. So you had one in front, one in back, and they were cruising. Now we know on this particular NASA facility, there's several places to land. There's an official airport, but there's several other landing spots on the base. Just like Eglin Air Force Base has 84 official runways where people can land inside the swamp and shit. You don't even know how to get around in them. It's so the same thing here. So you couldn't hear anything, but they were steadily rolling. So we take off. We're just, everybody's really hyped. I mean, everybody's hyped. We stopped at somewhere to eat. I think it was actually a Waffle House or something. And I remember one of my friends from actually from New York, he goes, man, y'all's time down here is weird. I'm all tired. And it's like, and he looks down, it's like 3:30 in the morning. It's like 3:30 in the morning. What the hell are you talking about 3:30 in the morning? Because it was like 7:30 in the evening when we saw this thing. It's clearly on the damn clip of the film when it's running 7:30 p.m. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I was even tired a little bit. So I grabbed my watch. My watch was just stopped. I paid about $3,000 for this watch, and it's just stopped. I'm like, well, ain't this just sweet? So we're looking around.
Watch?
No, it was a Seiko, actually.
Quartz battery, so something drained the battery.
Well, it was kinetic. Maybe that's what the problem was. It picked up.
Oh, you stopped moving.
Yeah, so it was. I was like, that was that weird kinetic. It was kinetic anyway. So I grabbed my pad. I go, so let me go outside. I'm gonna get my pad, and because my phone was in the car, so I grabbed both of them. I come back. My phone's just flashing 944, 944, 944, 944. I open my pad. My pad's flashing 944, 944, 944, 9. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I couldn't get him to do anything. And neither one would do anything. And Joe pulled out his phone. And he's going 944, 940. Everybody's phone was going 944. It's like some scene out of some freaking sci-fi movie. Somewhere.
EMP.
And so we were just all kind of like, what the hell? And so I asked the girl when she came. I said, "What time is it?" She said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Just what time?" She says, 3:33 in the morning. And I'm like, "Really?" And she's like, "Yes." And so we just all ordered breakfast because everybody was still in. And even today, I mean, there's a lot of hypnosis work done on it, but even today, it still flips everybody out because nobody really knows exactly where the 6 hours went. Nobody really has a good feeling of what happened. When you get hypnosis, it's all jumbled. You can tell there's multiple.
So was it 6 hours or less? Because if your phones were all flashing 944, that's probably when the incident occurred. So,
but no, when on the film it says 7:30. That's when we started filming. Whatever this was flying through, it was at 7:30.
Wow. So either you sat there like in a catatonic state, all of you, for 2 hours filming that thing, and then 944 happened.
Well, there's all kind of theories. There's all kind of theories. Somebody says in one of the hypnosis sessions, somebody's talking about they remember being brought into this area, and when we brought into the area, they remember everybody's phones lit up and then went off. She said she clearly remembers seeing that, and I'm seeing that was probably the 944 thing. Yeah. So that's an hour 15 minutes later. But you know like I said, there's a lot of hypnosis work been done on it. It's and everybody here was a veteran, has veteran researcher. Everybody had super skills and all this. Nobody here was really shakeable or scareable. It was a very, very, and it was a unique thing for the group because as a group we'd been doing this research at that time 30 years. So it made for some unique findings, but it was also very free. It was the same place. We were out there with a group of people one night, and you heard this scream. It sounded like somebody was like stabbing a horse to death or something. It was just a wild ass scream. And then I remember we were stopped at Shoney's for breakfast. I remember sitting in Shoney's, and my friend Gia was just like freaking out. She was just like, And I was just kind of like, what? I was agitated, and my wife was laughing her ass off. I mean, literally just laughing her ass off. Like, y'all got what y'all deserve kind of laugh. I'm not shitting you. And I don't know. Anyways, enough of all of that. But ladies, if y'all ever want to hear more about that, y'all can come over to UFO on the Cover. We'll talk about that more. But it was a very strange, I've had some really weird shit happen to me. Like driving up to the Pentagon, driving up to nice filled Air Force Base. The Pentagon thing, people, was sheer accident. I was in DC. I didn't know where the hell I was going. I'm cruising along 80. I said, okay, well, I got to get off. I got to go right here. So I hop off interstate. And what the hell? Interstate went into the Pentagon. Well, how am I supposed to know that? I'm not local.
There's one
a guy
also along George Washington.
I pop off and it goes here. I'm like, yeah, dude, where's the turnaround? That's all I asked him. He was like, it's right there. I'm like, yeah, I'm turning around, dude. Just calm your ass down.
They don't play down there. They're the same entrance for the CIA. It's on the George Washington Parkway. I think is the road on Virginia's side. And for the Langley facility, you get off on that exit, and it goes straight to their front door. There's no turnaround until you hit the front gate.
Well, you can bet you they ran our license plate backwards, forwards.
Oh yeah.
Who are these people, man? And why were they here? What do they want? Yes. Mm-hmm. And then they looked us up. We were down there. I was down there lecturing at the X conference. So they're like, oh, it's them kind of people trying to get some secrets. I can just hear it now, man. Oh, my Jesus. Well, when DC is a weird place. That's all I can tell you. There's still a marquee down there that has United Public Radio on it. A friend of mine owns it. It's in Georgetown. Yeah, it just keeps us up. He's had us up there for like 28 years now, or 26 years now.
Yeah. Georgetown's a cool place to hang out.
Yeah, he owns a condo down there, so he just, he's stinking filthy rich. No,
yeah, you gotta be up there to live in Georgetown.
When I say he's stinking filthy rich, people, I mean the man is still stinking filthy rich. He's like, God said, you know what, you can't have enough money, son. Come here. I was like, and the first time I met him, he said, hey, you want to go here? I said, man, I can afford it, dude. Oh, that ain't no problem. I'm like, really? He said, yeah, man, don't worry about that. I got money. I'm like, oh, I'm glad to hear you got money. And he starts talking about what kind of money he had. I'm like, Jesus, dude. I said, and I was like, and how did you come about this? I was like, I mean, the dude is just, when I mean he's wealthy, it's just crazy wealthy. But he's a really nice guy, and he's really into a lot of this research we do, and he does help out a lot. What's that, Dean? No, we got to get back to real news. We can't be talking about this stuff. It gets the other Sean too excited. No,
yeah, me too. Because I spent most of my early youth in Georgetown. I was drinking there for the good.
I don't want to give him nightmares and shit. He's got children. We don't want to give him nightmares and stuff. He'll be thinking of coming to drag his kids out and shit. What is that, Reese? Biden's an idiot. Kamala's an idiot. As far as the thing about Charles and the Harry's an idiot. I hear a lot of rumors about Charles, and most of them aren't good. I mean, not that he's horrible or anything. That's just that he has prostate cancer and stuff like that. And for most people, prostate cancer's max is 5 years, unless he gets one of these new American cures.
Power in England in a few years.
Well, they now they do have a new cure for that in the United States, and so far it's been 99.99% effective. Yes, even in stage 4. Even in stage 4, it's a trial, but I imagine he can get on it. Now there's a lot of new cancer cures. So people, y'all need to get out there. You need to pay attention to these cancer cures, because if you don't pay attention, somebody buys the bitches up. So just 3 years ago, they had a new cure out for 11 different types of cancer. 100% effective. Didn't matter what stage it was. They gave it to you, cured it. Nobody can even find it, even find it on the internet anymore. It's just gone. Now, see, in Germany and Europe, they actually start using these cures, but in America, they still being greedy. So there's three things going on right now. One's for prostate and like 20 other kind of cancers. It shoots as like dye goes in and forms around the cancer. And this other part 2 comes in and destroys the cancer, eats it up 100% effective. There's another one that's similar to that, but it injects itself into the cancer and eats the cancer from the inside out, but it eats it all. Doesn't matter where it's at. So there's a lot of these coming out. It's just, come on, cancer should have been cured 20 years ago. And if we take how many ever trillions of dollars we've spent on defense, cancer would have we'd have cured way more than just cancer. Let's just be honest.
Pharmaceutical companies won't allow that to happen.
Yeah, no, because once you cure that person, there's no more steady income. You don't.
But you
that
see,
person
that's the
isn't
other
buying your
problem.
drugs every 3 or 4 days, or 30
America
or 40 days.
has a big opportunity right now. Unfortunately for Pfizer and Moderna, America's pissed. They figured COVID was a probe up the ass, is what they figure now, and they're pissed. All these shots, hardly any Americans are getting COVID shots now. COVID went from this killer disease to just almost fading away. Actually, I didn't get the Moderna or the Pfizer. I got the Johnson & Johnson because it was traditional. Well, I'm familiar with traditional vaccines, so I was more comfortable.
And no mRNA. All the others had mRNA in them.
Yeah, that CRISPR shit. I just wasn't ready to put that CRISPR shit in my body yet. Well, no, I've got COVID 3 times. The first time to kill me, it was bad. I put my wife in hospital for 11 days. It was I was sick for 16 days. Oh yeah, we got the original version. That's why. We lived in New Orleans. The doctor said more than likely we were probably exposed by an international traveler or something in the city. And it was right after Mardi Gras. I mean, it was right like the end of January, beginning of February when we got it. It was bad. But I've had it 3 more times since then. And each one of them was progressively better.
Yeah, you were out in California, dude.
I've got it the last 2 of the times I got it in California. He's right. I got it at the gala. And so usually, when I come home, my wife, it's one of those things.
You stay in this trailer for 2 weeks. If you don't have a bloody nose, runny nose by the end of that, you can come back in the house.
What's that, Jamie? Who? You want to marry me? Oh, no, you don't want to marry me. Trust me. I've been told I'm an asshole. So I don't think I think I'm really sweet, but I've been told by other people that not so much. No. You mean current? Everything shows Biden losing in a landslide. That's why this will be such a dangerous thing for the Democrats to try to pull anything. If there was a real race going on here, then the Democrats might try. But right now, I mean, he's polling some polls 10 or 12 points ahead. That's ridiculous. You can't cheat that much. Not without getting caught. I mean, that's just too much. And places like they're showing Georgia has flipped hard towards him. Pennsylvania's almost flipped towards him. Wisconsin's flipped. Actually, they had Arizona and Nevada flipped, and and New Mexico is on its way to flipping. I mean, it's not looking good. He really looks like he's already got enough states to win the election.
We're still 7, 8 months away.
There are still things that can stop Trump. I mean, as Jay just said, what are we, 9 months? I think we're 9 months
7,
out.
8 months, yeah.
Yeah, it's what? No, whatever it is, 7 or 8 months. Regardless, there are things that can happen. If by some miracle the DC case could get in and go to court and find Trump guilty of of trying to take over the country, then yeah, maybe so. Those are I don't know, man. That's trust. Trying to get Trump for treason in 8 months is going to be hard. I think his lawyers will just drag it out and drag it out and drag it out and drag it out and drag it out.
I mean, that's what they're paid for. He's got teams of lawyers that can block up those court systems and dockets for decades. He'll be way out of public office by then, but yeah, he can.
The one in Georgia could doing damage. But you mean
it's the only one that's got any kind of
doing damage the way he could. I don't think it would cost him to lose unless they hit him with a felon where he had to go to jail. Well, no. So get this. This is an even better scenario. So if for some reason he lost and they told him he had to go to jail while he was waiting for an appeal, okay. They wouldn't put him in jail. He was waiting for an appeal anyway, so it really wouldn't matter. While he was trying to get an appeal and won the presidency.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Trump, you're pardoned.
Yes, I mean that's over with. I mean, you can't prosecute a sitting president. That's the law. There's nothing you can do about it. The only thing that can get a president out of the White House is the Congress. And even there, it's not as easy as you think it is. Even an impeachment where the Congress agreed, a president still does not have to leave if they don't want to.
Yeah, he would probably have to twice in his 4 years.
You'd have to drag him out, kicking and screaming. It's just, it's never a good thing to have to do that to a president. The country is not going to sit well with that kind of crap.
So far, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, the only sitting president who accepted an impeachment was Nixon. Only because he had to. Otherwise, he was going to go to jail.
I don't think he went to jail, but he said he did it for the party. It was a shame because Nixon did a lot of good shit as president, which he was well loved in his first term and a half. But
he was well loved as vice president for what's his face.
He should have just turned in boys in over at the White House. I mean, over at Watergate and left it alone instead of trying to cover up for him. They were over there spying. They got busted. He said he should have just said, "Y'all got busted. Do your time. We'll hook your family up and take care of it until you get out, and then we'll take care of y'all. Go to jail, boys. Y'all effed up. You shouldn't have taped the door and forgot about the tape."
Yeah,
that's actually people. That is actually what got Nixon thrown out of office was a piece of tape. Yes, a piece of Scotch tape at that. Can you believe that shit? Most powerful person in the world at the time got thrown out over a piece. Tells you democracy works sometimes. So. It does tell you it works sometimes. Nixon, I don't know what people was going to go on, but all I can say is I'm looking forward to this race. It ought to be a lot of fun. It ought to be a lot of fun to call this race. We still got 8 months. Nikki Haley looks like she's going to go ahead and side with Trump and get it over with. So let's talk about VPs before we go on to the poll. So who do you, Jay, who do you want to be VP? Who do any of y'all guys?
Nikki Haley's a good choice, but I think he'll get better party-wide support if he takes DeSantis.
Well, he's in negotiation with somebody, but who do you think, Sean, to the left?
I'm with DeSantis. I think
DeSantis.
Look,
okay.
Trump's great at talk and things like that, but you need somebody who's actually good at.
He needs an image boost, and
he needs like an operator. Yeah, he needs.
He did exactly.
Mr. Kelly, what do you think?
That Vince Swami, whatever the hell his name is. That's what I'd like to see.
Ramaswamy.
Ramaswamy. Yes, I would like to see him.
So he's actually in negotiations with somebody. And
Ramaswamy.
No, they were a Democrat that defected.
They
defected
Kennedy.
in the last election.
Kennedy.
No, it's not Kennedy. We wish it was Kennedy, but it's not Kennedy. It is a female who defected. Her name is Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh,
she ran for president. She ran for president. So that's who he's in negotiation with. She's a former Democrat, so she will pull some Democratic votes. She's attractive and intelligent, but she's a little new agey to me. But I guess we'll see where it goes. But that doesn't mean
wasn't she a helicopter pilot?
I think she was in the war. So, well, not in the war, but in the service. So she's an interesting character. She's got a lot of good qualities. She was a senator, so we'll see.
And with his reputation of the girls, that's a huge boost for his ego, or not his ego, but for his image, his nationwide.
It'll help him out.
He would do that. Tulsi Gabbard, I love her to death, man. I've been when I first saw her on Fox News, I was like in love with her, and I'm just saying not in love because she's good looking and shit. I'm just saying I really liked what she had to say. You know what I mean? About. I love it. I love it. I hope so. What do you think, Joe? Who do you think?
I don't know. She's in negotiation, so they're actually talking with Trump about her taking a job.
How about Chrissy Nome? Where's he hang at?
So who I'd like to see him take is Condoleezza Rice, but he's scared of her.
He should be scared of her, but she's great. She'd take over on a damn country. That's why she'd be 4 years. That's not a bad idea. He'd just go out and like bark at people and do what he does, and then she could just make sure we're all safe.
Yeah,
that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
She's the one. Her, with a little help from Darth Cheney, kept the country from falling apart under Bush. So Bush sucked, people. I don't care what you Democrat Republicans think. I mean, really, he was a wartime president. All wartime presidents usually end up with a decent rating. I mean, they voted like 95% to do whatever he wanted for the first 5 years of the war, 6 years of the war. I mean, no, come on, it was enough of that shit. If y'all love him, to me, he's always going to be Baby Bush. I'm sorry, that's who he's going to be. Because Daddy Bush is hard. Okay, look, first Daddy Bush was vice president for one of the most popular presidents ever in history.
Arguably,
got more stuff done than most presidents will ever do. And Dan was a Hollywood actor. He was also governor of California. So I mean, he was just well loved. Even the Democrats liked him. Because he was a schmoozer. That's why. And all them Democrats knew him from when he was an actor, so it made it a little easier on him. But he had, Daddy Bush, who was ex CIA, working for him. Yeah, and Daddy Bush knew everything. He had all the goods on everybody. Yeah, why do you think Reagan had such an easy? Nobody wanted to mess with Reagan with Daddy Bush up there. I mean, this guy had secrets on everybody in the Senate, everybody in the House. He knew about Area 51.
He knew where all the skeletons were hidden.
Yeah, he just knew a lot.
I knew a guy who was in Delta and had briefed both Reagan and Bush after covert missions.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
And Reagan would be like, "Why were you in that country? Like, what did you do?
What were you doing?"
And then Bush was just like, "Yep, that makes sense. Yep, got it. I mean, he was all over it, and it was
that was his job. Yeah, that was his job. He was actually there. He actually said it himself. He said, "I'm here to make sure the president is always safe," because he was going to take the fall over the what was the Contra stuff,
Iran-Contra.
Yeah, he was going to take the fall for it, and they ended up not having to. But he was going to fall on the sword for his president, which is more than I can say for most VPs. Man, I was kind of impressed by that.
Baby Bush
I still don't like it. No, Baby Bush wouldn't, but I still don't like his ass. I still think he was an asswipe.
Well, he may have been an unpopular person, but at least post Reagan years, he did help keep the country.
And what was truly sad for him is if the doofball would have if he would have just went ahead and finished out that war he started in the Middle East instead of he blew up the palace and killed those couple of kids of what was it, Saddam at the time. So everybody got upset with him.
Gaddafi?
But if he would have if he would have just went ahead and finished it, Americans would have just let it go. But he got all worried about his image, and then you get worried about your image, we get worried about your image. So out you went, and then in came Clinton, right? Yeah, Clinton came in.
Yeah, Clinton after that.
Clinton did a pretty good job. People don't hate on Clinton.
He had a good economy. He was a goofy president. But I liked him, and I'm not a big. I don't really like a lot of Democrats, but he was a good president. He
was fun. He was always getting his ass in trouble. That's what made him fun. He's always into some shit, man.
Or he was hitting that fingerboard on this chalkboard note on his saxophone.
He was no, Bruce. He was a fun president. I mean, scandals are not all presidents have some kind of bullshit scandals. I mean, it's just become a thing now. No, pretty much since Kennedy. Pretty much since Kennedy has pretty much been a scandal for everybody. You're like, oh well.
There weren't many scandals with Ford, but he was a buffoon with all the tripping and clumsiness.
Yeah, but Ford had 2 years, and he just took over for Nixon.
Yeah, he was an interim president. He didn't get voted up.
I don't even know if he had 2 years, to be honest with you. That's kind of like
it was a little less than 2 years, I think. Yeah,
but
but they named a carrier after him.
Well, yeah, they named a carrier after him.
Well, they named him after Daddy Bush. Actually, he's got a named after him. He's still alive, wasn't he?
Not anymore. I think he's gone.
No, but when they named the carrier after him, he was still alive.
Well, I think he was still alive when they named the carrier after him, but he's gone now. Jimmy Reed, no, give me 1 second and we will do that. I'm just posting something while we're talking. No, I don't know who. You mean who? What do you mean? Like if somebody blew up Kamala and Biden, Speaker of the House would be president.
Yep.
Secretary of State first?
No, Speaker of the House.
Speaker of the House.
Speaker of the House, yeah. He's third in line. He's whoever that doof Democrat, that Republican they got in there right now. I don't even know who he is.
He's from your home state.
Who is it? I don't remember. Who is it?
He's from your home state. You don't know
Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson.
I don't even know this guy. Who the hell is this guy? I never talked to this guy. I've talked to some of the others. I don't think I've ever heard of Mike Johnson. He must not be. He must be in the northern part of the state or something, man. I don't know. He's not around me. That's for sure. What is that, Kimberly? Our government just needs a lot of help. I mean, right now we're in a position where we just need to think about our people. Yes. Need to love our people, be kind to our people. Yes. I know it sounds like some new age Aquarius thing. I know, but it's true. Because we're in a point where we're reaching a level of technology that can really send us into something great if we can keep from blowing each other off the freaking happy ass planet. Because some people, if they can't, some people would rather destroy something than let somebody else have it. So you always have to watch for people like that. No, Xi Jinping is not that person. His government might be that person, but Xi Jinping is not that person. He does not. Xi Jinping wants to enjoy the fruits of his labor. He wants to be the guy in control. He wants to be Daddy Bush. He wants to be the guy who says, I rule the world. That's what China's been trying to do for 5,000 years. America seems to get in their way. Yeah, well, we're a great nation with a bunch of crazy ass people in it. Stirring us up is insane. Anybody who's stupid enough to go kicking the proverbial hornet's nest around, meaning us, is just stupid. You did not see what happened to Iraq and Afghanistan? Just leave us alone. Bottom line is, and this is really the true statement, bottom line is you leave us alone, and for the most part, we will leave you alone. You don't leave us alone. Somewhere along the line, you're going to die. I'm just being as blunt about it as I can. What do you mean? Australia's not an enemy. Why would we kill any Australians?
Oh man, they got good-looking women down there, and they're single.
Well, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
They're part of our space program as well. We need
I don't care about the damn space program. They got some women
big satellite to talk to the ISS,
and they're
in control of it.
I don't give a damn.
Oh my God, we can't allow y'all to be around them. Oh wait, we're doing this twice. We got to cancel this. Let's see, get out of there. Jimmy Lee, no, I'm going to pull up a poll in just a minute, so just hold on to your britches there, my friend. No, I don't know. I don't feel the world's coming to an end. I mean, I hope it's not coming to an end. I mean, currently I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I mean, do y'all think the world's coming in? Did any of y'all feel any psychic waves of it's the end times? I mean,
not at all.
Well, we are heading towards the debris field. I forget what they call it. We hit it every year or so, and they think that the device or the item that ended the Younger Dryas, the Chicxulub explosion, came from this area of asteroids and comet pieces. And every time we drive our planet through that, we're basically, spinning the chamber and hoping that one bullet isn't there when we pull the trigger. So we're in a dangerous situation now in space.
Hey, can you please explain that in layman's terms?
So there is a
big asteroid go boom, hit planet, everyone.
Yeah.
That's
layman, baby.
It doesn't have to be that big.
Oh,
but
Jesus,
there's a comet breakup that's it's got like an elliptical path that crosses our planet's elliptical path around the sun, and we go through this every year, and it's the Aeneid shower, I think they call it. And every year we go through that. There's lots of fireworks in the sky. And was it last year or a couple of years ago? We had many of them actually hit the ground. Usually they just blow up in the atmosphere because they're very small. But you get one that's as big as a Volkswagen, it's going to hit the ground and it will devastate what it hits if it hits the ground.
We have had many moons. Huh?
Yeah, let it hit Alaska and open up some gold mines down there, dude. I would
be happy.
There are several crater hits in Alaska, actually. Yeah, old ones.
I would be well. Sean, asteroids, little piece of asteroids up there are worth more than gold.
Yes, they are meteorites.
Yes, meteorites. You go peep a little piece of meteorites. They're actually worth more. And you go,
they're worth more because of the iron and the uridium, which is within them.
Well, you know what, Joe? Honest to God, in a couple years when I come out and visit you, I have a friend that lives in Arizona, and he bought like 2 acres of land, and he's collecting meteorites all over the place, man.
Yeah, that
kid's rich. That kid's rich.
And that's how it works out sometimes. I mean, it's what is that, Bobby Ray? No, that's just how it works sometimes, guys. I mean, life is weird. You could always end up with the Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
People, I spent 3 weeks on Skinwalker's Ranch. That's what I got to say about Skinwalkers. I'm sure one of these guys going to want to sue me one of these days. I was What's that famous thing in Dune? I was the judge of the change for Skinwalker's Ranch. Yes, that's what I was. I was out there on electronic surveillance equipment, and the Navy had us out there working with the Marines for 3 weeks.
Why would the Navy be working with the Marines out by Skinwalker Ranch?
Would you like to know?
Well, that's a
tell
good
you.
question because the Navy is also up at Area 51 and Area
Yes, they
4
are.
working with some of our, new.
It's amazing. It is actually amazing how many inward bases the Navy has. It always cracks me up.
They have a base on Area 51.
I spent time at several of them. It always just cracks me up, like Fallon, Nevada. It's in the desert. It's in the desert, people.
Yeah, China Lake Naval Weapons Center up in
there's
California.
a few places, and I went to tech school in Millington, Tennessee, which is just a big used base, and pretty sure it is a nuclear silo base because we ended up in one of them. Long story I have to tell y'all one night. Not classified story, by the way, people, but long story. It probably was back in the day, but it's not now.
I've been inside one of their coolest on-land facilities, the David W. Taylor Naval Ship Research Development Center down here in Potomac, Maryland. Wow, what a cool place. They no longer have open houses, but my dad did work there with the Navy, and they have this building, which is basically like a half silo on its side. It's round top, and it has a pool that goes all the way from the left side down to the front, makes a U, and then comes back up the right side. And they put scale model Navy boats of new things they're developing and stuff they have that's out currently to try to trim them down so they fly through the water better. Very, very cool facility.
What do you mean, Jackie? Nope. No, because Navy learned some valuable lessons during World War II. Don't put all your eggs in the same freaking basket.
Yes, and don't put your planes wingtip to wingtip.
Yes, and don't park them in all the same bases. So a lot of our planes are actually in the heartland in the middle of the country, which makes them like exactly no time from the coast because they're so freaking fast. But it's just no. You got to understand, Navy has a lot of planes and a lot of equipment that they just don't want somewhere where they can just go get it blown up. Well, because the Navy has big old cargo planes, just load shit on, go drop it on a carrier, or drop it off somewhere, just like the Air Force does. They don't have to. They don't have to have a bunch of. No, it doesn't work like that, man. I mean, it's just the way it works. The Navy's just like that. They want to make sure that all their stuff is safe. And by putting it inland, it's safe. And they can group stuff up together inland because any jet flying from the coast to them is going to give them plenty enough time to scramble and get in the air and go blow the shit out of somebody.
If they're not already taken care of by anti-air defense systems.
Yeah, or bases along the coast that have already scrambled. It's just, they don't want to get, like, if a coast base was a surprise attack and they couldn't get off the ground, these other Air Force, both Navy and Air Force bases would be just launching. I don't really think most people or Americans realize how many freaking airplanes we actually own. And not including the ones that we just got sitting around that could go flying tomorrow. It's a little ridiculous, or maybe it's redundant, but the United States don't want to get caught with their shorts down. World War II was enough for us to learn our lesson, and Vietnam taught us another lesson. If you're going to go to war, don't F around. Either go kill the people or don't get involved.
Well, they weren't allowed to do that in Vietnam, Joe.
And then, do what in Vietnam?
They weren't allowed to go and kill people. I mean, they weren't even allowed to.
Oh, I know, because
they weren't allowed to go into Cambodia.
Because Vietnam was not a war.
Cambodia until Nixon said, "Fuck this, I'm going in Cambodia."
Yeah, well, problem with Vietnam, it was never actually a war. It was a police action, so we were limited to what we could do. Everything else has been a war. So Vietnam taught us a lesson: no more police actions. Yeah, that's what's going on in the Ukraine right now. That's why Russia's having so much bullshit problem, because Russia won't commit to a war. If Russia just committed its forces, Ukraine would already be done. It would already be over with and done. They've got enough tanks and troops spread out along the NATO border that they could roll over Ukraine in an afternoon. They just won't do it. And Russia knows we're not going to invade them. They know damn good and well we're not going to invade them. So it's not because we're going to invade them. That's bullshit.
Yeah, he may not have been worried about us, but his part of his reasoning for keeping some of the troops back was just to protect the homeland, because we may not have invaded, but Lithuania might have sent tanks in, or Poland, had they been pissed off enough. So I think he went about it the right way, but after the initial shock was over, then he should have committed the rest of his forces, and it would be over. Ukraine,
it would be over.
We wouldn't even be talking about it anymore. It'd be done.
Actually, Christopher, I have read several articles on maybe that the EU and the European nations are getting a little tired of the Ukrainian war. Well, it's costing a lot of money.
Yeah,
And what's happening is it's not so much the governments. It's not even so much the governments that's getting mad. It's the people. You know, when you see Germany dumping, a couple of $1 billion at this country or that country, especially some of the poorer countries who's dumping a lot of money and are giving up military tanks and stuff, you're kind of thinking, why you could be using that here? Why are we keeping the Ukraine? Because really and truly, do you think Liskinsky even gives a good shit about any of us? Let's just be honest about it. I mean, the guy looks like a sleaze bag to me. Well, he's an actor. Actors always scare me, especially ones in control. What do you think? Reagan used to scare me because he had the power to push the button. I thought he might wake up one morning and think he's in a movie and go, boop. Oh, shit, did I just end the world?
Especially his second administration when he was starting to show signs of Alzheimer's. Everybody was scared of him.
You just yeah, I don't know, people. No, hold on. I'm going to pull these up right now. But, Chris, just be careful in who you vote for. That's all I'm telling you. I'm not voting for Biden. You couldn't even pay me money to get me to vote for Biden. What, you mean $25 million? Oh, I don't know. I might vote for him then. That might be different there.
No,
I probably still wouldn't vote for his ass, but I would just be careful. I mean, he's insane. And our country is in shambles. I mean, financially, we ain't been this bad off. Well, yeah, we said this a million times. If you make more than $250,000 a year, you're probably in good shape right now. But if you make less than that, you're hurting like everybody else in this country. Gas is ridiculous. Food's ridiculous. I mean, gas is going up here 50 cents a gallon in the last couple of weeks. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Anytime I got to go pay $3 a loaf of bread, I'm getting pissed, people. I'm just telling you. And if I got to pay more than 99 cents a dozen for eggs when I live in the damn egg capital of the world, I really get pissed. I'm like, come on. The only thing that's cheap down here is beef. Yes, beef.
I saw a price for a loaf of bread at work the other day, $3.79.
Yeah, for freaking bread. I mean, what does it cost to make a loaf of bread?
Yeah. One loaf.
So gas, you mean down here, gas right now here on average is around $2.70 a gallon.
That must be nice. I'm paying $3.68.
Yeah, I got. Let me see here. It looks like $3.85. Sorry, $3.63 right now here in Waynesboro. How about up in Pittsburgh? What do you got up there? You're about 3 hours away.
$3.68.
5 cents more.
Well, how much you paying out there in San Fran, baby?
$12 a gallon.
$6.
Jesus.
$5-6.
I mean, in California, California has a potential of having cheap oil. I'll never understand that.
They got their own oil fields.
It's not even that. They got other oil fields they can tap nearby in New Mexico and Arizona. I mean, they can have oil for cheap. They just obviously don't want it. So what do you mean, Bob? I'm all for suing the tobacco country. I'm all for suing the government and the tobacco company. So
yes,
the tobacco companies got you hooked. Then they sued. The lawyers sued everybody and got millions and billions and billions and billions of dollars for themselves. And no, they got half. They didn't get a third. They got half. So, like Louisiana got $14 billion, which means it was a $28 billion settlement. The lawyers got $14 billion. These lawyers made so much money, they should be in prison right now. They should literally be in prison. The settlement was so high. Did you get any of that money? Who's hooked on cigarettes? No, you did not. Now, there's supposed to be services out there that'll help you get off of them and this, that, and other thing, but you should at least got back, say, you smoke 2 packs a day for how many ever years. You should at least got back that $125,000 you wasted over 40 years of smoking cigarettes. It's, no, we did the math one time. If you live in like one of the upper states and you smoke 2 packs a day, which is about $20 a day, you'll probably spend more than $100,000 in 30 years, enough to buy you a decent house, or get a good down payment on a decent house. So,
a carton of Marlboro here in Pittsburgh is $100 and $110.
Yeah, they're $11 a pack at Marlboros. Maverick, which
Thank
is
God I
made
don't
by the same
smoke,
company,
man.
they're about $7 a pack. So they're $7.
It's all tax, though. It's all tax.
Yeah.
It is all
Mostly
tax.
all
It
taxes,
is.
yeah.
It's probably like the cigarette company's probably making $1.25 or something like that a pack.
Per pack or more.
So my point is,
San Francisco, Sean.
So
what's that?
A pack of cigarettes in San Francisco.
Oh, $12, $13
I
probably.
don't. I'm not shopping.
Sean said he
Anyway,
ain't
I
even
think
looked at a
$12 or
pack of cereal. He
$13.
don't know them nasty things are. So, but the point being
Yeah.
is you got, so the government allowed them to sue, got the prices raised up through the roof because, we got to punish the smoker. So you're hooked, and the government is punishing you for being hooked, where they should be helping you
chemicals they
instead.
make them put into those cigarettes. And I guarantee you this much: those settlements that came out that all the states and the companies won, if we had gotten some of that money, they're going to ask you, when did you start smoking? Oh, I started smoking in so and so. Oh, well, cigarettes were $1.04 a pack, so we're going to give you $50,000 instead of 120 or $1 million. So
they'll have to break it out and average it out over. If
that's how that's how they would do it. The older
they would
you
try
are, the
it,
less
yeah,
you
but you'd have lawyers too. Your lawyers would be going, no, we're not going for that bullshit.
I wish I had lawyers for that.
We're gonna want this. We're gonna want that. Hold on, Kimberly. Let's see right quick. Let's see where is this? Fox host cuts away from Trump's speech to debunk election BS. Okay, I don't know what that's about. Let's see. Here we go. 270, 20. Here we go. Election poll. This is the www.270. I always like these. So nationally, it is Trump is winning by 3 points. California, Trump is 30 to 54. Arizona, Trump's winning. Nevada, Trump is really winning.
Kick it ass again. Good.
New York, he's at 40%. The Democrats have got it, but he's at 40%. North Carolina, he's winning. Michigan, he's winning. Georgia, he's winning. So that's two swing states we've already been through. Pennsylvania, he's winning. That's 3 swing states. South Carolina, Montana, Texas.
Got Florida.
Let's see. Now we get Washington. Nope, that's a Biden. Iowa is Trump by a good margin. Maryland and Colorado are both Democrats. Now Maryland's pretty big; it's by 22%. Colorado's only 7%, so you might see that change. Missouri is Trump. Utah is Trump. Wisconsin is Trump. See, that's another swing state. Wisconsin. Massachusetts, Trump's getting his ass handed to him. Massachusetts, he's only got like 25 points or something. But anyway, South Dakota he's winning. Ohio's winning. No, he's losing in Minnesota, but only by a point. New Hampshire he's losing. Alaska,
I guess they didn't burn down enough cities the last time. Maybe they need to burn down.
Alaska, he's murderizing. Tennessee, he's murderizing. Florida, he's murderizing. Virginia is a very close by about 3 points. Wyoming, he's murderizing. Arizona, he is. Illinois, he's losing. North Carolina, he is winning. Kansas, he's winning. West Virginia, he's winning. Nebraska's winning. Indiana, he's winning. Idaho, he's winning. Oklahoma, he's winning. Kentucky, he's winning. New Mexico is a tie, which is another one of the swing states. I mean, Jesus. There's only like 7 states in here he's not winning. Trying to cheat in this election is going to be really hard, people. I'm just saying. You're going to really have to go and take a look on what's going on.
We still got about 255 days till the election, so there's still a lot can happen, but
he's
locking it up.
It is just interesting to see how many states are clearly pulling for Trump, but yet they try to say that nationally he's only up by 3 points, but so many of the states are behind him. You're kind of like, how do y'all do your math? Let's see. Oh, wait, this is going to be good. This is CNN. Okay, CNN. Now, you know, CNN, most liberal place on the planet, except for NBCN, so. Republican-bound delegates, Trump's murderizing everybody at 63%. Of course, Joe Biden's got 91%. The only guys running against him is Dean Phillips, whoever the hell that is. When you look at the map, Jesus, when you look at the map, there ain't much blue up here in the Northeast where there's a lot of people live, but there ain't much blue. There's a lot of pink and red. Ooh, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 states are blue. 17. That is not even near enough to get you to presidency. I don't know how that's going to work out. So
33 states are backing Trump or close to it.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, and it is still early in the election, but right now he's showing plenty enough delegates to win the election. I'm more interested if how much is this going to. But I've been seeing a lot of fake stories coming out. I mean, a lot. stuff like, oh, people want Trump to go to jail. Oh, people are not backing Trump anymore. All that stuff can cause damage down the line. But then Americans are kind of funny now about who they listen to. So, what's this? How far will Trump go? Oh, I see. They don't want to put no CNN won't even put up a poll within. Last week they had it up. He was losing by 10 points. They won't even put up a poll like get Biden versus Trump. Ain't that some bullshit, people? I mean, really, come on. What kind of chicken crap is that? We don't care about the primary. CNN, we really don't. We don't care about the primary results. We don't. No, we want to see who's gonna win. We're gonna win. Road to 270. Currently, Democrats have 225. Republicans have 272. That's a win. That's a win. That's a CNN poll, ladies and gentlemen. CNN's got them winning by 50 points. That's right now. That may I don't know, man. I don't know. What does yellow mean? What does yellow mean?
Oh, what is that one? Oh shit.
I know what light blue and light pink and all that is. I've never seen yellow on here. But anyway, currently that is the current CNN map. If y'all don't believe me, I can put it up on the thing for y'all to see. But it is a sad state of affairs for the Democrats. I don't see when you start seeing polls like this, it makes it really hard for the Democrats to pull any shit because you're kind of like, really? Let's see, can we get it in the thing with us? We want America to see CNN because we know how liberal they. Up there, y'all go, guys and girls. There is the CNN map, and as you can currently see, they need another 45 to win, and they've already don't have that. Even up here in the north, like Virginia, is still not 100% flipped.
Yeah, it's kind of sky bluish.
Minnesota's still not 100%. Even Oregon's giving them trouble. Nevada was a blue state last time around. Georgia was a blue state last time around. Yeah. Pennsylvania was. Indiana was. Wisconsin was. Minnesota. I mean,
Michigan.
Yeah, they were all. So it's going to be hard for them to win.
I'll bet the yellow is either undecided or they're voting for Republican Democratic representatives, or they don't have enough data in. Because Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Arizona are all yellow. And what do the hash marks mean? You got Nebraska's got hash marks, and Maine has hash marks. What do those mean?
Oh, they separate. They're different. Maine 1, Maine 2. Okay. The hell is that?
It's not winner take all in those, right? You can divide, right? The electors,
yeah,
right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay, people. So all I can tell y'all is CNN saying that Trump is going to win handedly. I'm sure somebody at CNN is puking as we are speaking. I have no doubt that somebody over there is like, oh my God, I cannot believe that this could even possibly be happening. This is as bad as when Trump won. Well, guess what? It looks like he's going to win again. So this is The Economist. The Economist has always been a Biden thing. So let's see if it's still a Biden thing. Currently, they have. They got Trump winning.
Flipped, huh? So they're finally taking their medicine and seeing the writing on the wall.
Oh man, I mean, The Economist is always on Biden. That's only by 2 points, but Trump's 49, Biden's 47. Latest poll done yesterday.
They don't have Kennedy in there though, so if you take Kennedy, take
that's the thing.
10%.
Most of these polls don't have Kennedy as we're talking about this. Guys and girls, I don't know if y'all are familiar with Kennedy, but he is the I guess the albatross around Biden's neck. So here we go. We got the Harris X poll, Trump. We got Harris X poll again. That's Phillips, and Phillips. We ain't worried about that. That's Bailey. That's Haley. That's Trump. That's The Economist. Trump versus Biden. He's beating him there. And let's just go down the list here. Morning consultant, Trump. Oh, wait, who's this? Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac, you actually got Biden. When you get the oh, that's Haley. Okay, I'm just going to say what the hell. That's Haley beating Biden. Biden, Haley, Biden, Trump. Biden, Trump. So Quinnipiac thinks that Biden is winning. Morning consultant. Let's see. Morning consultant, Trump's winning. Harris, Trump's winning. I don't care about Haley. We know Nikki's not going anywhere. You can just throw her ass in the garbage can already. Well, that's okay. That's mean, but y'all know what I mean. She's not relevant to this race anymore unless she's going to be a VP. Jackie, we were talking about that earlier. So, the last I'd heard, Tulsi Gabbard was in negotiations with Trump for VP. It'd be a good time to do it. And if Haley concedes what it's looking like she's going to do at the end of this election cycle in South Carolina, then more than likely Trump's going to go ahead and name a VP and start running. He needs to go ahead. Personally, I'm with I think he should go with DeSantis, but he's thinking that Gabby is an ex-Democrat, a female, intelligent. Alexa, who is Tulsi Gabbard?
Tulsi Gabbard is an American politician, United States Army Reserve officer, and political commentator who was the U.S. representative for Hawaii's 2nd Congressional District from 2013 to 2021.
Oh, she's a Hawaiian girl. Ooh, here, baby.
Yeah,
I don't know who no Hawaiian girl. I got to think about this, man.
How in the hell did I know that? I must be psychic.
You need to look at her picture. She's got the whole like the X-Men Rogue thing on her. She's got like a white streak of white hair in her black.
Let her go, man. She's hot. So we all know she's hot. So
yeah, she's good looking.
She's intelligent. She's an Army vet. I mean, come on, she's got a vet. I mean, she's done her job. She's done her service, her due diligence for her country.
Yep.
She seems to be intelligent. I listened to her at several debates. Her problem wasn't having a problem with the debates, the questions. Her problem was getting money. She was just, the Democrats didn't want to give her money. They didn't want her to be president. They said, well, no, we don't want you to be president, Tulsi. You might think an alien might come or something. No, Frank, yeah, it's just, no, we got to go in a few minutes, but all the polls, it doesn't matter what poll I pull up, Trump's winning. That's how when you listen to this shit, you go, and these, like I said, these are, oh, who sent me this? What is this? Oh, NBC News. Oh, South Carolina primary. Okay. Biden 51, Trump 44. Yeah. Okay. That's there. Okay. Florida polls. Wait a minute. I got to stop before I say something mean. So the first poll is Mammoth poll in Pennsylvania. Biden 50%, Trump 45%. Morning consultant, Biden 52, Trump 43. NBC market, Biden 51, Trump 46.
Some very optimistic Democrats out there.
No, look at this poll. No,
take a breath.
No. What does it say up here? No, this is my own stupid ass. What does that say? Oh, y'all can't see it. Presidential polls 2020. So that's what he was polling in 2020. Like we give a good shit what he was doing in 2020.
4 years ago. We don't care about that. We care about today.
What does the BBC say? BBC says that, whoa, BBC. During election poll, 2024 tracker, presidential election, United States. Who's going to win? Holy crap. They've got 43 Trump, 25 Biden.
Wow. That's probably the realistic poll too. Because
that is just crazy outrageous there. That's Sean's fault. We're blaming Sean for that. Mr. Biden, Sean put the voodoo on you, man. I don't know what to tell you. That's some San Francisco people. They put the voodoo on your ass. It's
wow.
Okay, we'll do. Okay, well, hold on, Chris. We can do. Hold on. Let me see if I can find them if they're here. I know 5850 somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. 5838. I know it's somewhere. Let's see what this has to say. We don't care about Nikki Haley. What part of we don't care about Nikki Haley you don't understand, you stupid ass computer?
Yeah, she's. I think she's already conceded that she ain't going to make it.
No, they were talking today about how can she give Trump her delegates and not look like I don't know, like an idiot. Let's see how many people. 538. This is an ABC News poll. How popular is Joe Biden? Well, basically almost 60% disapprove.
Okay, relatively unpopular.
Yes. Haley's way down at the bottom. Haley's at whatever. Trump's at 76%. So Haley, I'm sorry, baby. Just concede the election and get over it. Yes, concede it and get over it.
If she were smart, she might have approached the Trump camp for a negotiation to be the vice president as well.
Well, there may be something still there. I mean, I'm sure Trump's not going to now. Knowing Trump, he's not going to
pull the trigger right away. I don't think.
Well, he has to soon. I mean, with only 8 months left, he really needs his VP out there campaigning for him. But he also needs somebody that's going to pull in money. And is that Tulsi Gabbard? Is that Nikki Haley? Is that DeSantis? Yeah, DeSantis can pull in money. He didn't have money. DeSantis' biggest problem is he's not the greatest public speaker around. So here's another. This is 2024. Another election poll has 55.5% of America disapproving, with 40% approving. Whoa, I don't believe that shit, by the way. You're not going to prove to me that 40% of America thinks Dingleface is doing a good job. I just have fundamental issues. Is that why Biden is losing some more to bunch of young voters of color? Because he's an idiot, racist pig that likes to play with little girls' hair. That's why. Did I say that out loud? Shit, I did not mean to say that out loud. I apologize. Should we trust polls? Campaign leaks to the press? No. Why would you trust anything that's leaked to the press? Yeah. Okay, George Elliott, get out of my ear. Get. Sorry, guys. George Elliott was talking in my ear. Okay, it was making me crazy. Let's see. Two more polls. Let's see what this is. It's not a national poll. Biden 73, Phillips like 6. Let's see. How popular is Biden? He's not. Who's ahead in South Carolina? Trump. Who's ahead? Republican primary? Trump. Who does America love? Trump.
Who does America love to hate? Trump.
Let's see. Trump. Okay, what do we got here? Here we go. That's Phillips. We don't care. That's Phillips. We don't care. We're just looking for. Boy, ABC just does not want to say anything about Biden versus Trump. So we're just going to get off their site. But I mean, that's just sad. They're that scared to put it up there.
And it could be smart too. Not playing either side. Yeah, they might get better. If they appear to be more objective, they might get better, sponsorship from their viewers. Never know.
Yeah, they need to do something. Well, guys, I mean, the majority of these polls I see are favoring Trump. It doesn't look like Georgia. He's way up. I mean, Georgia, and there was 3 states, Georgia, Wisconsin, and I forgot the other one. He pretty much wins with those. Going with basically what the red states are going to give him anyway. So, what do you mean? Why is this shift? Because Biden's an idiot. No, I mean he
may have at one time been well capacitated and have a good brain. Be a smart fella, but he's past that. He's in his.
I went back and brushed up myself on Biden as a senator. He is a lying SOB. He's the same way. Oh, I was a pilot. Really? Where were you a pilot? Oh, I was a bus driver. Oh, did you know I taught at Harvard for a while? Really? When the hell was this? I mean,
he visited Harvard, and the professor said, "What did you talk to the class for a few minutes?" And then that's his teaching.
He said, I have tenure. I'm like, really? And how did you end up with that? I mean, he just lies. Everything comes out the man's mouth. They always bitch about Trump lying. And Trump does lie a lot, but not like this dude. He ain't got nothing on Biden. Biden is and then I got the issue with him touching girls' hair. Presidents shouldn't be touching on little girls. Shake their hand, maybe. If they know the kid, maybe a hug. Other than that, don't don't, and I don't want to hear about your daughter says, Daddy used to take showers with me. Really? No. It comes to age you don't get in the shower with your daughter. Let's just be honest about it.
Yeah.
It's no, really, Chris. You go get what age you gonna get in the shower with your daughter? What's the acceptable age?
Chris. He's weird.
What is the acceptable? What is it? No, I mean, what do you
This is
consider
how it should go.
acceptable
As
age?
soon as your child can bathe and safely shower themselves without drowning and supervision, that's when they bathe alone.
Yeah.
When they're an infant and up to maybe 2 or 3, you have to watch them. Otherwise, they could drown and kill themselves. So, yeah, after 3, that's
that's
borderline way bad.
I'll be kicking his ass off because
I
that's
was,
all he wants to do. He wants to rile you up, Joe.
Let him rile up. That's all fine, but it's just some of the stuff. People, you got to grow up. The world is strange, and I just a kid this tall. You shouldn't be just. It's not your. This is how this would work because I have daughters with their stepdaughters, and it wouldn't even matter. So if I'd have been standing there and some guy would have just started rubbing all of my stepdaughters, I would have broke his hand. I would have just broke his hand and said, "Look, do something stupid again, I'm gonna break far more than your hand." I would have just broke his hand, teach him a lesson. I'd have just said, "Look, boy, come here, let me show you how this is gonna actually work." And as it is, when they all became teenagers, I used to tell these guys, I said, did she tell you I was special forces? What's it, Mr. Joe? I said, did they tell you? I said, dude, I said, well, let me tell you this once. Have them home at this time, because if I got to come looking for you, it's not going to be nice. And but Linda was far worse than I was. She called the cops on her a couple of times. I was like, she didn't even play, buddy. You're not home at curfew. Watch this.
Okay, I made it 3 hours. I gotta go. Dude.
Get out of here. We're getting ready to get out of here ourselves in about 4 minutes. We'll be out of here.
I'll wait 4 minutes.
Don't, Sean. Be sure to tell them where they can find you. Into the night, somewhere on planet Earth.
You can find me on Sunday nights and Tuesday nights on UPRN Talk Radio 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi. And I'm on Sunday nights at 8:05 to 9:05, and on Tuesday 8:10 to 9:10 p.m.
And Laura, he lives in Pennsylvania. So Laura wanted to know what you live. Other Sean, what are you doing, man? Where you at? Where can they find you?
So you can find me on Through a Glass Darkly Radio on this station on Sunday evenings from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific time, 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern, and 7 to 9 p.m. Is that right? Yep. Central.
Yeah, 7 to 9, yeah. No, really, guys? No, I'm sure he's got 14 kids. 14 people.
It's got a new cult.
Why?
It was 13 at the top of the show. It's now 14.
Yes, wife delivered while we were on the radio. She just had another one.
We're about to have another 15th in like 2 minutes.
Oh my god! And it's just why she puts up with his ass is beyond me. It's Jay, tell him where they can find you at, man.
You can catch me every other 3 Fridays on the Church of Mavis right here on the network at Fridays at 8, just before this show, which I can also be occasionally found on. And that, again, is news on the flip side as well. So there we are.
Well, Glenda, to answer your question, I have 37 children by 14 wives. Yes.
68 grandchildren,
and then just recently, that's right.
Here and there.
And only 2 have mustaches.
That's right. And just recently, all 14 said they were pregnant again. So that's going to be 50 kids even now. A buck 50, man. What do you mean? It's great having that many kids. Anyway, we got to go, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting delirious at this point.
Yeah, we've been out in the sun too long.
Yes, we got quite a few news stories covered tonight. We got quite a few we didn't get to, but remember, you can always send in your favorite story, your favorite music, whatever you'd like to hear. We've got a guest coming on. I'm going to probably book him for this show for an hour. We'll see. It's more along the lines of Secret Service kind of stuff, so we'll bring him on there. And then in a couple of weeks, we're going to leave one of the hours just to talk about the Koresh gentleman who gave testimony at Congress, since I had to too. So we're going to talk a little bit about him and like that. What do you mean? You mean do a show on wait a minute. So you want me to do a show? You want us to do a show on the FBI is what you're saying. like on Ruby Ridge and and
You
let me
like
tell you
living
what,
too much.
Ruby
I
Ridge.
don't want an IRS proctology exam.
That's right.
after that.
So and you mean Waco and Ruby Ridge? And I said, no, look, I'll tell you one thing about Ruby Ridge, and that's it. Your boy got off even after he killed his wife, his dog, and his kid, because the barrel of the gun was 2 centimeters over the legal size. When the FBI originally measured it, they measured it wrong. And when it got in court and they measured it, it was legal. So all that shit they did, all that stuff they did to him turned out to be for nothing. Yes, including killing. Shot his kid in his back while he was running. Yeah, shot his dog, shot his wife. And no, the one kid I think was actually in her arms. Anyway, it was a horrible story, and they paid dearly for it. And since then, hopefully they've straightened themselves out. Other than that, we can't talk about them because I love the FBI. I have lots of friends there. I think they're the greatest agency around. Yes. All hail the alphabet. All hail the alphabet. Anyway, we got to go. Oh, no, you can catch me on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. I'll be here tomorrow with John Goodwin with 4 of the winners from Writers of the Future's 40th anniversary edition this year. And then I'll be here, on Wednesday hosting UFO Undercover. I forgot who's on with me this week. And then, of course, I'm here with the guys getting in trouble. And again, we are looking for a woman, not a girl. A woman, no woman. Someone at least 38 or over. I'm really leaning towards 40, but well, no. I mean, let me tell you what. If you're really good and you think you can get up here and hang with us and talking about all the shit we talk about, let me know. We'll bring you in and you can see if you can. You can't be scared. You got to butt in sometimes. You got to get your 2 cents in there. No, we just. It's always good to have a female to offset it. Why do you think they want to send a woman into space with men? Because men they learn something at the Arctic. If you leave guys alone by themselves, they just turn into pigs.
We must have supervision.
Well, there was a female astronaut who basically destroyed the.
I do remember. Yes, I do remember that. Yes, see, they're just as bad.
We're not going to go into that. They didn't let that story leak, but the story's out there nonetheless.
Yes, sometimes people, you get cooped up in places. But guys and girls, no, we just got lead stories coming up. A couple of lead shows coming up in the near future, and we got one in I think 3 weeks or 4 weeks. It's going to be mostly a music show. We got a friend of ours from California coming on. He's a musician. We might bring in a couple others that we know and just listen and play music, and we'll slip some politics in here and there. But we'll just. So let's just figure it's going to probably be like the last week of March. So anybody who has music they would like to hear, send it to iCartCox.net. No, I'll mention it the next couple of weeks. It can be any kind of music they want. Now, whether it gets played or not, I don't know. If you start sending me like, Puff the Magic Dragon, that shit's not going to get paid. Now, I'm just telling you, it's not. But there's a lot of stuff because we're going to be playing a lot of music on those nights. So there'll be, at least 20 or 30 songs get paid. So you can get slip some music in there. Oh, you're talking about what's his name? The guitar playing guy, Santana. Yeah, that's who you're talking about.
Carlos Santana. Oh, he's awesome.
Playing with, I know who else you're talking about. The guy from not Matchbox. Is it Matchbox? When they're singing Maria. Yes, I know exactly what song you're talking about. It might get played. It's not hard rock, but it might get played in a different context. Yes.
Good night,
yeah.
Good night.
All right. Anyway, John, we got to get Jay. We got to get everybody else. Go out and have some fun. Enjoy your life. I know we're getting close to Easter now. Easter.
Especially over here because I'm on the eastern side of the planet.
Oh, and how many of you bastards committed a sin today and ate meat?
Always.
Hey, I got a question for you guys.
As a result, if you catch on fire, just remember to stop, drop, and roll.
That's right.
For the lightning bolts. Hey, do you guys know the answer to this question? On Good Fridays, what type of meat are priests allowed to eat?
Oh, I'm not even going there because I'll get thrown off the show.
Unfortunately, I read your mind, Joe, and I had the same thought. So I'll just let that one go.
The answer is none.
Salami? I don't know. Anyway.
No, none. N-U-N. They get none on Friday.
I hope to all my Christian friends out there, I hope I didn't offend y'all because I had bad thoughts.
It's okay. I'm Catholic. You're. I bless you.
I was raised Catholic. I don't know what the hell I am.
Yeah,
now.
me too. Yeah.
It's no, Chris, we got to go. Jimmy, we got to go. Bruce, Stephanie, all y'all. I'm glad y'all hang in. At least I'm starting to see more of y'all can't come to the chat room now, so that's a plus. Eventually, we'll get all you messenger people in here with us. I don't know what you're scared of, Sean. Only bites if you ask him to, so you don't have to worry about it. Jay's got some. Jay told me he's got a paddle that. Well, I can't tell you what it says on the air, but it's bad. It's bad.
It's also got 36 rusty nails on.
No, see, that's even a better paddle. But on that note, ladies and girls, we got to go. I hope everyone has a good weekend. Enjoy your time off. Get out there. If you're in California, stay away from the poop. Everybody else, stay away from the weed. And have a good weekend. And don't eat too much candy, people, please.